Wow, you guys are a great crowd. I didn't have to say anything. Everyone just went silent. Assalamu alaikum, good evening. How's everyone doing? Wow, that was amazing. Thank you for that overwhelmingly enthusiastic response. That was awesome. That made me feel at home. That was just really good. Are people dead in the background? Are people in coma? Should we resuscitate them? Just lie. Just pretend you're having a good time. How's everyone doing? Thank you. A lot of you guys are looking at me right now and you're asking yourself one question, and the question is, that isn't Fareed Zakaria. No. You laughed a little too loud. Was that what you're thinking? You were. Thank you for that stereotype. I appreciate it. I'm not Fareed Zakaria. I'm also not Reza Aslan. I'm also not Sanjay Gupta. I'm also not Riz Ahmed, who just won an Emmy. I am not Hassan Minhaj. And I'm not Mindy Kaling. I'm the guy they get when the rest of them say no. I am literally your 7th pick, desperate, last-second choice, flown a few hours ago from Virginia to host this free event. Thank you. Alex, thank you for thank you. For the rest of the evening, I will accept all and any pity applauses today. Thank you. Out of 2 billion? Hey, number 7 out of 2 billion. I like that. It's a very optimistic view of looking at it. Thank you. I was depressed the whole time in a fetal position, crying, eating cheese. But now I feel good. Number 7 out of 2 billion. We are here today in what looks like a futuristic wood cabin in the middle of Minnesota, Minneapolis, for what is a very exciting event, Minbar Somali. It's the first of its kind ever entrepreneurial Shark Tank competition for Somali-led entrepreneurs. Is that correct, sir? We believe it might be the first ever in North America. You are all a part of it. And by the way, it is being live streamed as we speak on something called the Facebook. The kids are on it. So you can actually get it. /Minbar Somali. And there was no hashtag, so I'm going to go ahead and be proactive and create a hashtag. For those of you kids who have something called a smartphone, and if you're on the Twitters and the Instagram, if there's anything inspiring, if there's a photo, if you want to laugh at me or with me, go ahead and comment. Use the hashtag Minbar Somali, hashtag MINBAR Somali, all one word, and let's get this trending at the very least in Minneapolis, because why not? You guys with me? I don't believe you at all, but yes, I'll go with it. We're desperate. It's a free event. It's all good. Now, this is my second time in Minneapolis. I'm originally from California. Anyone from? No. And I live right now in Virginia. Anyone from? Yeah, you? 1? 2? Who's that? I paid you. Your check's in the mail. This is my second time in Minnesota, and as an American citizen, let me kiss up to you and praise Minnesota as a person who's never lived here. So I'm thankful to Minnesota for the following reasons. Number 1, Prince Rogers Nelson and the Revolution. Give it up. You guys, yes, Prince. All right, thank you. Number 2, did you know Charles Schulz, the creator of Peanuts, was born in? Yes, so Linus, Snoopy, could not. Yeah, you could give it a round of, come on now. The old timers are clapping. Number 3, Bob Dylan emerged from the womb of Minnesota. All right, number 4, the 1991 season of Kirby Puckett. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. You remember that? Carried it, single-handedly carried it. Old timers, go to YouTube. Number 5, the 2012 MVP season of former Minnesota Vikings running back, Adrian Peterson, whom you guys defeated in week 1 of football. But that's okay. It's cold-blooded, but that's okay. Number 6, you guys elect very fine congressmen and congresswomen. The first ever Muslim elected to Congress, Keith Ellison, hails from Minnesota. And also, recently, a few months ago, the first ever Somali woman who was a refugee wearing a hijab, also black, Ilhan Omar, baller, was elected. So Minnesota is kind of leading us in a more integrated, colorful, multicultural narrative of America that hopefully makes future generations want to live here and make America great again. And too soon? Too soon, my bad. My bad. What? Huh? I missed it. And finally, since I'm a creature of the 80s, I have to give respect to Jesse the Body Ventura, who you guys, it's okay. Let's give it up to him. You guys elected him. And one of the best all-time quotes from any movie, 1987 Predator, when Jesse the Body Ventura had to kill predators, he said, "I ain't got time to bleed." Great quote, can be used in any situation. So, thank you, Minnesota, on behalf of a man from California and Virginia, for producing such cultural icons. Now, get out your smartphone if you can, get out your smartphones. And because this is live streaming right now, it will be very embarrassing if one of you, during a pitch, your latest Taylor Swift ringtone goes off. No one will say anything, we will just judge you quietly. I will literally stare at you and the spotlight will come on you if your ringtone goes off. So put it on mute or vibrate. We accept vibrate, but mute is better. Yes? Yes? Is everyone doing this right now? Yes? You promise? God's watching. God is watching. Don't lie. We're not judging anyone except the people who don't do it. Also, use the hashtag, and if you have friends, tell them to watch on Facebook. And real quick, I want to tell you exactly what Minbar Somali is. Minbar Somali is a unique digital platform that was created by these two goofy guys who I'll introduce in a second, who are part of Afam Labs. And basically, it's a digital platform that connects Somali entrepreneurs with a global network of incubators, investors, friends, and allies who want to help co-invest in their dream to create an entrepreneurial, kick-ass, for-profit, hopefully, inshallah, God willing, enterprise that will help them, help their community, and also help the diaspora community. Like I said before, we believe this is the first ever Somali-led startup pitch competition that is in North America. Is that correct, Quentin? Maybe. He says inshallah. He says maybe inshallah. This is the first one ever. So it's really unique, and we have 6 teams who use Minbar Somali. There were a bunch of teams that used the process. These are the top 6 chosen by Afam Labs. These guys are young, they're hungry, they're passionate. In front of a live audience, no pressure, they will have 5 minutes timed to pitch their idea to a room full of sharks. Not literal sharks, figurative sharks. Investors from your community who will actually, not for the sake of philanthropy, but as businessmen and businesswomen, will go back and forth and negotiate with them in real time and see whether or not they are willing to invest in their company. So this is no charity. This is like going to be a real deal, behind the scenes, boardroom type of grilling in front of Facebook and the world. You will be a witness to it. And it's very possible that some of these teams will walk away with absolutely nothing. And it's very possible that some of these teams will see their dreams realized with funding right here on this stage. So give that a round of applause, because it's kind of cool. Okay. Now I have to thank Power. Power must be thanked. Let's thank USAID for helping organize this and set this up. Give it up to USAID. Is anyone here from USAID? Anyone? No? USAID decided not to come to its own party. Awesome. Let's give it up to the Habshil. This is the 3rd type of an event that the Habshil has supported. The Habshil, I believe, is one of the largest or the largest money transferring organizations in all of Africa. This is the 3rd type of event. They're all about entrepreneurship. So thank you to the Habshil for continuing in supporting events like this. Give it up to the Habshil. And also, Comcast Business came in at the last second. Comcast Business, sit down. Not yet. He's ready. He's like, it's my turn, coach, soon. Comcast Business came at the last second, said this sounds like a great idea. They proactively approached Afam Labs, USAID, and the Habshil and said, how can we help? And in the last second, they came in and they subsidized all that tasty food. So, for those of you who are fans of Comcast, great. For those of you who are using AT&T and Verizon, they are the enemy for the next 2 hours. Do not mention their existence. We're all fans of Comcast, yes? Will I get free cable? Will I get a discount? No? No? All right. But very quickly, we're very lucky because I've heard we have the CEO of the Habshil is here, correct? Correct? He came here just for this event. I have been told that he is the Somali godfather. Apparently, yes, is that true? Yes. Do you work with him? Are you a relative? Huh? He's sitting next to you. Oh, he's sitting next to you, so you're the boss. Okay. Apparently, if he likes you, you can make your dreams come true. If he doesn't like you, one phone call and you disappear. But other than that, he's a really nice guy. He's a really, really nice guy. And he's had a very busy day. He came here last second because he was talking to this young man you might have heard of, President Obama, at the UN recently. and he's about to go to another meeting with very powerful people that he cannot discuss, because if he found out about it, he would have to pick up the phone and eliminate us. But he's here. He wanted to make his presence shown. He wanted to support. So give it up to the CEO of the Habshil, Abdurrashid Douale, who came here just for this. I hope I kissed up enough.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction. My name is Abdurrashid Douale. Some of you maybe never heard of the Habshil. We are one of the largest institutions that work with Somalis and other African communities that are based here in Minnesota and globally as well. I think this is the first time this kind of Minbar has been, at least in the US. I would have heard if this happened before. So I want to congratulate the organizer of the event, the other sponsor, USAID and other institutions that has been mentioned. Entrepreneurship is part of Somali culture, and it crossed so many regions. It crossed the, issue of clan we have. It crossed community everywhere in the U.S. and outside the U.S. And one of the best things in entrepreneurship is the one that brings all Somalis together. And I'm very happy that you are promoting that kind of spirit and the Habshil to be part of it. Of course, we supported other initiatives in Africa, but this is the first time in the US, and we're very happy to do whatever we can. I know a lot of you are a bit nervous. I'm nervous now. But I advise you to be natural. I advise you to stick to what you believe in. And of course, partnership is two-way. That, whoever is going to invest in your business, of course, they also have to like you, but also you have to like them as well. That's how the successful will succeed. So I advise you to be natural the way you will work with anybody else. The Habshil, we will look all the investments that has been submitted. I will leave some surprise to my colleagues here. I won't go into details, but we will invest where we believe it will create job, it will create, it will give confidence to those who want to take risk. Yes, we are ultimately a profit institutions, but we will also like that that will link the community together. Ultimately, everything is not about money. So we'll support those initiatives that we think will help. I think I will stop there, Quinton. Quinton is the one who always encouraged me to be part of this kind of initiative, and I want to thank you as well. So I'll stop there at the moment. Thank you.
Take the stairs. Give it up to the Godfather. Give him a huge round of applause. He's looking at you. He's seeing who's clapping and who's not. Eyes are everywhere. The eyes of the Habshil are everywhere. Thank you, sir. He gave a props to this man called Quinton, and I want to introduce Quinton. Well, at least they can stand. Quinton and Shahad Amanullah are the minds behind Affinus Labs that have organized and created Minbar Somali. Quinton, keep standing for a second. We introduced Quinton as Bruce Willis's nerdy stunt double. He looks like Bruce Willis. Look at him. Doesn't he look like Bruce Willis? Yes, he does. It's shocking. It's like frightening. People go, no. Oh! Quinton was senior advisor to this young gentleman by the name of President Obama. And now he's in the entrepreneurial field using what he learned engaging with communities both here and abroad. And Shahad Amanullah is a serial entrepreneur who also then served time with the State Department, working under then Secretary of State Clinton. And he also, for those of you who eat halal meat, you guys know Jebiye.com? He created Jebiye.com. That's what the Muslims are like, oh, yes. Everything else was useless, but Jebiye.com. That's what's good. It's keeping it real, Shahad, keeping it real. Okay. And also, I want to give it up to the good people of the American Refugee Community, ARC. American Refugee Committee, whose headquarters are based right here. They're people who are helping community members, families integrate, give people new lives, new narratives. They even accept all Skittles, every flavor of Skittles. You guys remember that quote? Skittles quote? Google that quote. Yeah. And we want to give it up to them, and I want to give it to them also. Let's encourage them to eat food. I've been trying to get them to eat food, and they're like, we can't eat until everyone else eats. Now I'm like nonprofit to the end. Wow. So if you see someone from ARC working here, make them a plate of cheese, give them some crackers. They're doing great work. Amelia sitting right there. Amelia is going to be responsible for, guys, who are the teams? Where are the teams? You guys listen to me? The teams? Okay. Amelia is going to be responsible for the times. So when you see Amelia, who's right here, Amelia, give a wave, a nice queen-like wave. Very queenie wave. Very good. When Amelia does the white paper, that means you have 1 minute left. When she does the red paper, that means the CEO of the Hauptschule is making phone calls. All right? I'm going to repeat this. And also, we are very lucky because coming from Toronto, Canada, we have Hodan Nalaye. Did I pronounce that correctly? Hodan Nalaye. Right. She is the Somali Oprah, and Oprah says that she is the Chicago Hoda. And basically, she's kind of a big deal. She has started and created her own television network, Integration TV. She has come here all the way from Toronto. She's a personality. She's a big deal. Like, if you have 1 degree of separation with Somali Americans and you say you've got a photo with Hoda, it's like it's on. It's on for the next 6 months. Give it up to Hoda, who's going to come here and address the stage. The Somali Oprah, or as Oprah says, the Chicago Hoda. No pressure.
Assalamu alaikum, Habib Wanaxon. Somali Oprah. I don't know. Oprah said there'll never be another Oprah. So I'll just settle for being Hodan because all my life I've been Hodin. So I want to tell you guys that this event is, for me, remarkable as an entrepreneur. 4 years ago, I decided to change my life and started a career, went back to school, and had this dream that I was going to connect Somalis like me who never grew up in Somalia, who had no idea what their country was about, and who had no connection, because I hungered for that connection growing up. So I knew there was millions of Somalis like me who didn't speak Somali. They spoke English, Arabic, Swedish, Norwegian, you name it, every language in the world. So when I started Integration TV, it was just that passion to give back in terms of what we were missing. And I think all these entrepreneurs are here tonight, and what this program is doing is highlighting our community's pain that we've never had for 25 years, to be innovative, to be creative, to be ourselves. Because guess what? People in the diaspora like me, we're different kind of Somalis. Would you agree? Who is here is my generation that would agree we're a different kind of Somalis? Yes? Because when you go back home, you're not really Somali. Because they kind of pick up the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you interact with them. They're like, well, you look Turkish. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm Somali. Come on. So the Minbar Somali event for me is what symbolizes the future of young Somalis. It's people that have no affiliation to clans, no affiliation to borders. It's people who are borderless, who are thinking, how can I make the world a better place? How can I leave the world better than I found it for my children? Because I have 2 kids, and I would like for them one day to decide, I want to be a Somali and be accepted for who I am and to do more in this world. So give it up for this great competition. I'm excited. I've interviewed half of the people here, and it's beautiful to have ideas, to generate new cells in your brain every day, and to wake up and decide you can do something that no one has ever done in this world and leave it a little better. How beautiful is that? So thank you so much for having me.
This is why Oprah says she is the Chicago Hodan. Give it up to Hodan and Integration TV. And what's your Twitter handle? At Hodan TV for the kids on the Twitters and the Instagram. Okay, here we go. We're going to start. I'm going to introduce the Sharks. The Sharks are very powerful people who allegedly have a lot of money. And yeah, don't make eye contact with them, all right? And yeah, just be they're very powerful. They're friends with the CEO of the Hauptschule, so it just takes 2 phone calls for them. But I'm going to introduce them on the stage. When I name them, please come on up. We have Abdurrahman Ahmed, who runs the famous Safari restaurant and event center in Minneapolis, and All-Star Home Care in Columbus. Give him a round of applause. Sit. No speech, just gotta sit, look powerful. He can do a wave if you like. Everyone can do a wave. No wave? He's going to do a wave. There you go. Impressive. Could have done better, but it's impressive. We'll work on it. Sarah Noor, award-winning bilingual healthcare executive. Sarah, come on up. That's a way. All right. getting there. It was very terse. That's okay. She's got things to do. John Griffith, head of global operations at the American Refugee Community and former executive vice president at Target. The only man wearing a tie. Don't judge him. But he's powerful. That's what powerful people do. We also have a superhero mother and daughter team. We have Amina Deble, the owner of East Village Grill in Minneapolis, joined by her daughter, Asha Warsame, who is in business school, I believe. Yes. All right. Ibrahim Usman, where are you at? Ibrahim Saab is the president and founder of Capital Distributors, LLC, the largest importer of East African consumer food products. That is the largest. All right. No wave, nothing? Oh, there you go. When you're the largest, you don't have to wave. You just sit down and people wave at you. That's what happens. All right. It's okay. It's all right. Abdurrahman Kahin, CEO of the restaurant chain, which is very close by. I think it's right over there. Afro Deli and Grill. All right. That's power. That's power. Selected, this is actually really cool news. Selected as a participant restaurant to serve at the Super Bowl in 2018. The most important question, will it be open by the time this is over? Yeah, okay, thank God. 10 o'clock, because we need something to eat. And we have, sir, CEO Saab, are you coming? Yes, no? No, okay. He's got to go talk to important people who are far more powerful than us. It's okay, it's fine. No one's judging you, except the entire audience. And Facebook. It's okay, though. No, thank you for coming. The CEO of the Habshil, Abdur Rashid Wali, was going to join us, but because of the meeting, he has to step out. But we have, in his place, his appointed Jedi, Quentin Viktorovitz, co-founder, managing partner of Finis Labs, award-winning social innovation firm, former advisor to President Obama, and Bruce Willis's stunt double. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. We got 6 teams. 6 teams are going to come on this stage. The 6 teams have a very firm, tight 5-minute mark to make their pitch to the Sharks. Again, this is not philanthropy. This is not people being nice. This is straight up. These are entrepreneurs. These are busy men and women. These are very successful individuals. I just gave you a small snippet of their bios. After the 5 minutes, there will be a timed 10 to 12-minute back and forth exchange where these Sharks might grill the team, might ask them, prove it that you'll be profitable, might on the spot say, you know what, I'm going to invest money right here and right now, and I'm going to take a share of the company. All of that could happen. Or if they don't make their case, the teams could walk away with nothing except, some free hummus. We don't know. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be pretty sexy what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes on the stage, okay? Exactly. This is going to be sexy time, entrepreneurial, Shark Tank competition in Minneapolis. Now, again, for the teams, when I introduce you, there'll be some Shark Tanky music. We're going to have music. It's going to be awesome. And remember, always look at Amelia, because Amelia is going to give you the cue. The white sheet means you got 1 minute left. The red sheet means you will disappear from the stage somehow. Then you guys have 10 to 12. Yeah, we're going to time you guys also. We know you're powerful, but you guys are going to be kept in check right now. 10 to 12 minutes to go back and forth, and I have to manage everyone's egos. And you guys get to grill them, praise them, ask questions, and really ask important questions, because these guys, men and women, are young entrepreneurs who are doing this for profit. This is not just a project. This is not just a joke. People's lives might depend on this, and this could actually create lives if it's successful and give jobs for future communities. Now, the first team, who are we going to go first? Who do you guys want? I know. All right. Quentin, not having fun at all. All right. First team is Mama Weliya. You guys like spices? Yeah, bro, you guys got the music. I love spices. I'm South Asian. We love spicy food. Mama Weliya is bringing that authentic Somali spice to America. Give it up for the team. Mama Weliya, you got 5 minutes right after I exit the stage. Have fun. Thank you.
Greetings and salamu alaikum. On stage you have myself, Abdul Fattah Sheikh, along with my brother Abdul Samad Sheikh. In the back you have my other brother Hassan Sheikh. We are the 3 partners and founders of Mama Weliya. Before I get started, I want to say thank you to Minbar for organizing this event and giving us the platform to talk about our company. I also want to thank the great audience and also the successful Sharks for coming here today and taking a listen about our company. And lastly, I want to thank Hodan Alea for sharing this event on her social media page. Hodan, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have known about this event and we wouldn't be here tonight. So thank you. So a little bit about ourselves. We were born in Minbar, Somalia. We left the country in 1990 when the war broke out. We migrated over to Egypt for 4 years, and then we came to the U.S. in 1995 at a very young age. When we came to the U.S., we didn't have much. We started from scratch. Our parents weren't handing anything. We weren't handing anything. And their primary focus was for us to get a good education and to make something of ourselves. So we got our education, and once we got our education, we thought, why not start our own business? Why not become entrepreneurs? And why not do it? Why not capitalize in something we were already talented in, which was the food market? That's when we established Mama Weliya in 2016. So actually, before I go to the next slide, I'll start talking about the products that we introduced. But before I do that, I want to go through the options that we're introducing to these successful sharks tonight. If you guys agree with our vision, you guys see our goal, hopefully you'll take one of these options, or maybe both, who knows, and you'll invest in us to meet our goals. So our ask tonight is to give us either option A, which is a $100,000 loan for a payback period of 10 years, and option B is a $100,000 investment for 25% ownership of Mama Weliya. Okay, what is Mama Weliya about? So initially we came into the market. My brother will be passing out the products that we actually introduced into the market. We came into the market and introduced a sauce called fenugreek sauce. As Somalis may know it, it's hulba sauce. It has many health benefits. Research shows that it's used for cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure. It's good for nursing mothers and many, many other medicinal reasons. So we checked the market. There was no other sauce like this on the market. We filed a patent against it, and now it's currently patent pending. And soon after we released the fenugreek sauce, we got a request to release a spicier version of the sauce. So our second sauce was fenugreek hot sauce. And then soon after that, we released a coconut hot sauce. And lastly, we have a avocado hot sauce. So sharks, please taste these sauces. Let us know what you think and give us your honest feedback. As you guys are tasting this, since we're limited on time, I'll keep going with our presentation. So what is Mama Weliya's vision? We've broken down our vision into 3 phases. The funding that we're asking for tonight is really for phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is to create a manufacturing site within the US, possibly Virginia, because that's where we currently reside. So currently we do the whole end-to-end process from our own household. We do our marketing, we do our packaging, labeling, everything from the house. So as we enter East Coast, chain grocery stores, and we tap into the international market, we'd like to have a manufacturing site here within the US. Our second phase is to expand this manufacturing site into a cafe. Now, why do we want to enter into the cafe business? Because this will allow us to keep producing all the products that we currently have and any other products that we plan to introduce in the future, but also feed our local community with other unique and distinct ingredients that we have within our household. Phase 3 is a separate initiative that we included in this slide because it's a vision for Mama Weliya, but it definitely requires more funding. Back in March, we participated in a study that focused on the famine that's currently happening in Somalia and some of the issues and how we could resolve those issues. There's a YouTube video that actually has a presentation that we did. It's called Halka Awara Somalia, and this means Solution to Famine in Somalia. Once we partake in this solution, we'd like to source some or all of our ingredients for our sauces from Somalia, to dedicate a farmland to grow all of these items. Before we do that, we know we have to address the irrigation issue. Once we create this farmland and basically grow some or all of our crops from there, we'd like to replicate the manufacturing site and the cafe site that we've created here in the US. Once we perfect it here in the US, we'd like to expand globally, but we'd like to start in Somalia, create jobs, expand the economy, and then expand globally. Sharks, that's all I have for tonight. Hopefully I didn't go over my 5-minute mark. I leave it open to questions for you guys.
Can you tell us which one's which?
Sure, there's actually labels on the
So there are
on
labels
the
on the actual sauces. So this is a coconut. So that one is the coconut. This is the coconut right here. And then we have the avocado. And then we have the hulba, which is fenugreek. And this is a spicier version of the fenugreek sauce.
Sure.
I think she had her hands first. Sorry.
Avocado. Is it spicy? The avocado one.
Yes, it is spicy, yes.
So it's all Spicy?
Except for the
Original
original
fenugreek.
fenugreek. This is not spicy, yes. Go ahead.
The food was fantastic. I'm sorry
you.
that that everybody else didn't have a chance to taste it, but it was the sauces were terrific.
Thank you.
A little bit concerned about your business plan. Running and creating a restaurant in a themed idea, we've got a pro sitting up here with us, is an incredible, incredible effort. Manufacturing product is a completely different thing. I would be nervous investing in somebody who's trying to do both out of the blocks. I would encourage you to pick one and go hard after that and let the second then develop. How do you guys feel about that?
I think that's a good point. I do want to make the point that we've streamlined our process to make these sauces to the point where we feel like we could run a cafe and manufacture at the same time without interfering with our business process.
I mean, I think John's got a really good point, though. I mean, part of this is about focus and maximizing your efficiencies and where you sit in the marketplace. And it seems as though you've already manufactured something that's absolutely delicious. I mean, embarrassingly, people out there probably see me sweating. It starts glistening off my wife hates it when we go for Thai food. Honey, I hope you're not offended when I say that. But the product itself is, I mean, it's really, really good. It seems well packaged, and it seems like you're already getting it into stores. So why wouldn't you just continue with that strategy to build up before making that leap into actually working through a cafe or restaurant?
I think with that, it's because the cafe would complement the actual products that we have, and it's a way for people to actually try it. And then if they ask, what is this product? Where can I get it? You can always say, oh, you can get it from here. And then, at the same time, we also manufacture it there as well. It's almost a way to introduce it to the consumers.
To add to his point, so with the initial phase, we did mention that we would build a manufacturing site. And with that initial phase, we wouldn't move on to the next phase until we perfected that manufacturing facility and the business process at that manufacturing facility. And then we can move on and expand into the cafe. So it wouldn't be like a simultaneous effort.
What's your sales year to date? And the reason that you open a restaurant is to sell your product here, or you have other menus? You want to expand your menu, or how is it going to work with restaurant?
We definitely will have other menu. The products will complement our menu, and also, like I said earlier, it would be a way for people to try out our product and basically get introduced into it. And as far as the sales, though, even though we've been in business for about 2 years, since 2016, not 2 years, but almost a year and some few months.
Yeah.
A good portion of it for 2016 we've been out because we had to go through Department of Agriculture just doing the routine work. And we just started since beginning of February 2017. Since February 2017, we've been able to get into 4 stores. And we're working in 3 states, and we're working on a 4th state, and we're also working in the Middle East as well.
And whose stores is that?
So one is Halalco, Medina Market. We have it in Pennsylvania, Allentown. We also have it in Ohio as well.
Mom's Organics.
And also we're working on a major supermarket, which we can't really announce the brand as of now yet.
Okay, tell us a little bit about the numbers. How much it costs you to make?
So depends on which one. With aside from the avocado one, it's about $2, a little over $2, depending on the market prices. For the avocado one, it's about $2.50, I would say. It does it fluctuates here and then, but yeah.
And how much you will sell?
Retail, distribution prices in retail is different. For retail, we currently sell the bottles for $4.99. The avocado sells for $5.49 or $5.99. Is it? $5.99.
Bigger size or?
No, the same size. No, one size.
All the same size. Yeah.
All the same size.
So it sounds like you're. So it sounds like you're target, group to market it to? Is it Somali or is it Africans? Is it Americans? Who are you trying to sell this product to?
The target market for this sauce? It's definitely international. With some of our markets, we definitely have, that learning curve where we have to teach them like the fenugreek and the health benefits. I know the Asian community refers to it as methi seeds, but the way they make it is a bit different. So our target is international, and we definitely need help with marketing globally. That's one of our weaknesses right now that we could use some assistance on. So definitely international. Sure.
I think we're all wondering right now, what about the money? How about investors? Are you guys willing to invest in this? Because you're still, okay. But because I tried it out and it was delicious. So we haven't heard from this side of the group. Anyone willing to make, what more do you need from them in order for them to convince you that this is a worthwhile investment?
I just want to add one point. So when we went through the inspection, I know we were out for a while, we went through the inspection. The Virginia Department of Agriculture came by and took a look at our process and ingredients, and we were named one of Virginia's finest companies within 2 months of functioning after we passed the inspection. Just a point I wanted to make.
Okay, I like the idea, and it's like something I can buy it, but not like 25% or 100,000 for 25%. But if you think there is a room, then there is a way we can do business with you guys. And we can talk, I think.
Talk now.
So is there an option to talk after?
Yeah, no. Okay. There is an option to talk afterwards, but you still got 3 minutes. So wouldn't you like to hear this conversation? Okay, let's talk now. Go for it, sir.
So what's your current facility, the way you've got it set up? What is your production capacity on a weekly basis or a monthly basis? How many units can you manufacture?
We can make right now about 300 a week.
300 a week.
Yes.
So individual bottles.
Units. Yeah.
Units, yeah.
How many unit stocks in a case?
We do 24.
So I think if my math's right here, you've got to be selling about 20,000 units on an annualized basis from a profitability standpoint of $2 per jar to support the valuation you have in front of us. So what I think you've got is a great product. You got great hearts. You're vested in this. You're headed in the right direction. But I think it's a little bit early yet to be seeking capital. I think you've got to get some more sales track record behind you. Get your unit counts up a little bit, which will come. The stuff is fantastic. But to support this kind of a valuation, you've got to get your numbers up pretty significantly. So for that reason, I'm out.
Thank you.
You guys mentioned that you want to open a manufacturing facility. Did you look at the cost? Any idea how much it's going to cost?
So we took a look at a few spots, not only manufacturing, but also a cafe, and we kind of combined the two. I'm sure a manufacturing facility alone, based on the business process we use to make this product, it wouldn't take much space. But as far as cafe and manufacturing spot in one place, in Virginia, it cost about $3,500, I would say, to $4,000 a month to lease.
To lease a space?
Yes.
Yeah. What about the production facilities?
Production facility alone, we would have to do more research. I don't want to give you false information.
I'm a distributor.
Okay.
And we're always looking to the amount you can produce on a daily basis. Because hypothetically speaking, let's say I have unlimited demand for the product. I need a manufacturer who can back my orders. What I'll suggest at the moment is, based on my experience, is outsourcing till you get to the point where you can finance your own manufacturing facility. Yeah.
Okay. Sure thing.
We have the final minute. Please go ahead.
Okay, so would you consider selling your sauces the way it is right now just in your cafe, since it looks like selling it in like higher stores would be kind of hard to do right now?
Like we said, we're already in communication with a large organic chain grocery store on the East Coast. They've showed interest, and we're working on finalizing that. We can't say the name at this point. But we want to sell out of the cafe. I don't think we want to limit ourselves to the cafe only. Our goal is to tap into the whole American market and also the international market as well.
So is anyone in right now, in some capacity, or in to even have a conversation, Sharks?
I like your company. I like, three brothers who've been in business together. That's really amazing. Who's Weliya? Weliya.
My mother. It's our mother.
That's your mom. And
Yes.
whose recipe is it? Are you guys trained, chef trained, or how do you guys come up with the?
So it's our mother's recipe, but then we actually go through a lab that basically, once we formulate it, we send it to them and make sure everything is.
Any of you cook or
No.
have any training?
No, we're just business. We're just business people.
Great.
God bless Mama.
You know what? We liked the taste. We saw the demand for it, and then we capitalized on it. So we took the ingredients and we tried to turn it into a business. Why not try to profit and capitalize on what's being made at home and what the community likes?
I think you don't need me right now because you guys have a lot of work to do to make it to a product. Right now it's kind of idea, but maybe in next couple of years we can talk again, and I would encourage you to go ahead and keep doing it. You still have time.
Thank you.
And I'm out.
All right, you have 2 outs out of 8 folks, and you also have 1 follow-up conversation. Anyone else want to give some hope or crush the dream?
Well, I think the idea is great. The product is great, especially the hulbo sauce. I want to continue talking to you guys. I have some few recommendations, and if you guys have room for it, we might strike something out.
Thank you.
And
All right, give it up for the first team, Mama Weliya. That was very impressive. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
And by the way, they tried to bribe me by giving me a sambusa and all the sauces. It was really good. And there's 1 plate that was left here. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to the ARC team that has not eaten in 14 days. Look at their faces. They'll be happy. If they're kind, they'll give you a sambusa. The sauces are amazing. We thought that the coconut was my personal favorite. Yes, coconut for the win. Are you guys selling them right now or no? No, you're not selling it? Okay. All right, next up. How was that, guys? That was pretty good. All right. Sharks. You guys are very nice sharks. Nice. All right. For the team and for the Sharks, try to speak into the microphone because sometimes the voice gets lost here. And, of course, we're Facebook streaming to the world. Next up, who likes chai? All right, calm down. Just, no one's going to get free chai tonight. But I love chai. It runs in my veins. It's in my blood. In fact, that's how Quentin and Shahid convinced me to come here. They're paying me in chai. And South Asians love chai. Apparently, Starbucks likes chai. They call it chai tea, which means TT, which is fine, whatever. Everyone loves chai. Everyone loves a great cup of chai. But have you guys ever had an authentic Somali chai? Next up, our new team. If they're successful, you can taste their Somali chai. We have Dhaka Jebiye. Come on up, Dhaka Jebiye. They're going to be pitching their idea. Oh, yeah? Hold on 1 second. They also have me doing flavor. One of the teammates, by the way, he broke his leg in Somalia, and then he had to come to America for the surgery. And while he was doing the surgery, the team applied for Minbar. So we're saying fate had him break his leg to be here tonight. Give it up to Dhaka Jebiye whenever you guys are ready, because I know you need some help. All right. Whenever you guys are ready, take it away.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys doing? I'm all right.
We'll give you some time, don't worry. Take your time.
I'm good, thanks. I've got the, can you hear me just fine? I've got a story to tell today. So I just click forward. So Dhaka Jebiye. I see some people already know what Dhaka Jebiye is. Okay, this clicker is killing me right now. Should I be pointing it somewhere? Oh, okay, it's kind of slow, that's all.
Can you tell the technical team in the back, maybe they'll forward it for you?
Yeah, I see someone moving the mouse, so somebody's trying to do something.
There are jinns controlling the
You guys
slideshow
like my
right now.
sign though? It's kind of cool. Okay. All right, so. Obviously, not everything runs smoothly at Dhaka Jebiye, as you can see, you know?
By the way, this is taking into your time. I'm just kidding. Don't worry.
Just say next slide.
Just say next slide.
Okay.
Sharks, please be considerate.
So, us Somali people, we're an oral society, right? We pass down our wisdoms through proverbs and such. I know me personally, when my dad is trying to, like, I've done something wrong, and he's not quite beating me, but he's trying to tell me something and to learn a lesson, he says, Somalidu maxay tiraahdaa, right? So that's how we pass on our customs. So proverbs are a big thing, part of our culture. Next slide. One of the most popular is, Ragane wa sheikh, tumurne wa sheeko. Sama. That means, for the English speakers, men are tea, literally. But they mean men are tea drinkers, and women are gossipers. I didn't say it, they said it, okay? But I say this proverb because it underscores shah. Shah is a very integral part of our society, right? But if you think about it, shah is the #1 selling item for us Somali people. The amount of times sold a day. It's the single most highest selling product out there, right? 1 in 2 Somali people drinks shah. Out of those, 1 in 2, next slide, 1 in 2 is a daily multiple times drinker. If you go to the Starbucks right here is the single most popular Starbucks in America. Why? Because we drink shah. Okay? But even though that's the truth, next slide, there is no brand name associated with shah. That's Somali. Isn't that odd? You think coffee, you think Starbucks. You think water, you think Dasani or Aquafina or something, right? Shah is what we do. We don't have a brand name that we can say that's where you go to drink Somali shah. That's what I want to do. So the status quo right now, I went to Hargeisa, right? So status quo in Hargeisa, if you go, for example, you go to the souk. You see, people only drink at cafes. They drink out of glass cups. They sit down. You know, they talk stories. There's no like access on the move, right? You don't have that Starbucks drive-through that you get the cup. You know, you keep it moving. There is you have these guys running around. You see those cups on the side of the picture? You have these kids running around with this contraption, and it has maybe about 7 to 8 cups in it, right? But you can see the problem with that. First of all, they can't reach far, so a small operating radius, right? You can't go too far with that. And it's made out of glass cups, so you got to sit there next to the guy drinking the shah, waiting for him to finish. For you to get your glass cup back, you want it, right? And it's low hygienic standards, so you don't know how many millions of people before you drank out of that glass cup. I'm not drinking out of that, are you? And it's a subpar shah. You go from one place to another, you're not drinking the same shah. One has too much sugar, they all have no spice. It's not the shah you drink at your house, right? One has too much sugar, one has low milk, one barely put any water in it. So we wanted to change all that, right? We wanted to standardize share. So that's what I did. Next slide. So this is Dhaka Jebiye. This is me in the Souk of Hargeisa. I actually did this, right? It was in my head, but I said, you know what, let me go try it out. I tried it out. I've got this backpack, has a high insulation, right? Has the disposable cups on the side, and it retains heat for about 4 hours. So I can go far with it. It carries a lot of share. It retains heat for 4 hours, and it's clean. It's a one-time cup. Here's your cup. I'm walking away. I'm not sitting next to you waiting for you. Continue your story. And you don't burn your fingers from the cup, right? You're holding a cup, the other one, it burns. So, next slide. And we give it to car traffic, everything, right? So, play. I did this and there was a lot of exposure, right? I didn't expect this, but there's a video here at any point. That's me, right, in the middle of the souk. See how I'm being inundated? It got very famous, to say the least, right? In the beginning, it was all in my head, right? I'm thinking, this thing, I could just see it concept-wise, it should work. But then, let me go try it out. Actually, in the beginning, I was kind of scared to go do it myself because I thought maybe if I do it myself, it will distract from the product. I didn't want to distract from the product because I thought the product was so impeccable. But what I didn't know is that my going to the souk actually added to the marketing of the product. People were amazed that you have this kid coming from the US with a degree from the U making share. They couldn't believe it, right? It's an unbelievable story. I didn't think about it at the time as such, right? The video, red cards, no? Doesn't matter? Okay. Anyways, so the video shows you the exposure, the TV, the comments and all that. And I'll close it up now for Q&A. Next slide. Wait for applause.
You got it. You got it. Well done.
Thank you.
And as always, Shark members take into consideration technical difficulties that were not the fault
It's okay.
of the team.
I think they got the point.
Is there chai available for?
No chai available. All chai is in Hargeisa currently.
Sharks, take it away.
Wow, it was amazing.
Yes.
Somali tea is the best.
Yes.
Everywhere.
And there was a lot of pictures, you know, this is a visual. If the video guy at some point, if you could play the video, please. You know, there's a lot of pictures. I wanted this to get a visual, you know.
I have seen it.
You've seen it? Oh,
Yeah.
good, okay.
The street of Hargeisa, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, now, can you tell me a little bit about what's your main goal? Is the tea or?
Can I get that clicker back? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I've got more.
Is that what are you selling? The tea or the product or the?
So it's a
meat
marriage of two,
customers?
right? We're not just making the bag. The bag, obviously, well, I can't go too much into the bag, how I make it or where I get my parts, because it's kind of talking about the secret sauces here. But we're not just the bag, right? We have the product. The product is a shah that is consistent, right? We want to be the standard bearer of shah, right? I was there for 6 months. This thing only debuted 8 weeks ago. But all these months before, I was just researching shah. I didn't know anything about shah. I was just researching shah. I was trying people to share on people, right? Going around, taste this, what do you think? Do you like this? Until I came to a standard, right? Because I want to be able to scale this operation, right? I wanted to make it to a point where the guys who are cooking, they're not cooking. They're just grabbing a bucket of whatever that I put there and they're just putting it into a bag, right? And it's cooking itself.
So can you talk about a little bit about how you distribute the product? I mean, I read how you get the product.
Yeah, so how I get the product out. So you have these kids running around. I have runners, right? So currently I have 5 runners in the city of Hargeisa. Each one, oh, there goes the video. So you can see there. But each one, so I have this backpack on my back. So I'll go to the souk, right? Just like that. And I have all these cups. So we call that one revenue unit. It has 50 cups in it. You sell the 50 cups, it makes about 100,000 shillings, which translates to $10. Say one bag is $10, okay? I have 5 people like that selling 10 units each. That's 50 units times 50 cups each, 250 cups a day. At the price of 2,000, it comes to around $550 a day, okay? You scale that to a week, you get $3,500, $3,700. Now the problem with that is if you could see inspiring, so Dhaka Jebiye raggeeda. Some people like it, you know. MashaAllah, you know, your business is directly related to how many MashaAllahs you get. You get more MashaAllahs, the better you do it, you know. You get access there, you know, you see me, people tweeting, retweet. I'm not a Twitter guy, but I hear retweets are good, you know. Next, okay, so let's go, you know, that ladies like Dhaka Jebiye as well. You know, there you see me in the middle of the souk selling. I go to events, catered events. That's my first employee, me in there, me in there. You know? So I would go around, so I would go to businesses, right? Businesses, so because shah is such an integral part, people actually leave midday, they go drink shah, and they come back. So for a business owner, it's like a terrible efficiency, right? So I go to these businesses and tell them, listen, your employees do not have to go anywhere. I'll come to you, give everyone cups of tea. So that's what I do, because they can't cook their own shah, they have to leave. So I go to business and make it an efficient manner for them. I go give them shah, I give it to the merchants that are street that cannot leave their post to go drink shah. I give it to the people that are running the streets, the cars, that cannot stop and drink a glass shah, right? It's a to-go cup, you know? I'm actually working on an operation right now where the cars are just coming. That's what I was doing right before I broke my foot. You know, the cars are coming, they have their money ready, I have my cup ready, and it's just the exchange, you know? Keep it moving. Okay.
So if you're selling about $3,700 a week top line,
yeah.
What do you think your bottom line number is after you're paying all your costs and
We are currently losing money.
You're currently losing money.
Currently losing money. So next slide, please. Let's go to the P&L, the sexy chart. I call it this, the profit and loss. Can I get the thing, or is it still not working? I anticipated all these questions. I made slides. You know, this is really eating up into my mojo, you know?
You got it.
Okay, I can just tell you. Okay. So we have one, we call them, oh, there we go. Okay, so we have that, right? So right now you can see the red is what we're going through. We have the biggest bar on the left is the inputs, the ingredients that go into the bag. So I have the ingredients that go into the bag, they amount to that much. The smaller one you see, that's labor. The rest is just overhead and net loss. So you see the net loss there, right? 0.44. So out of the $10, we're putting in $10, we get revenue of $10. I mean, we're putting in 10.44, and we're getting $10 out. So we have a net loss of negative 0.44 right now, because we're buying at a retail price, right? We're not buying Hulk these materials. We're buying just from the souk of Hargeisa. Yeah, exactly. So it was very crude operation, but right now we're scaling, right? So, but with your $50,000 investment, hopefully, or more, what we're gonna do is, you see the bulk milk? That's how much the bulk milk will be taken away from the ingredients. That's how much the bulk cups will be taken away from the ingredients. That's how much our bulk sugar will be. And that all translates into net profit. $3.01. So $3 out of the 10 will become profit. So we will go from losing 0.44 to making a profit of 3.01.
At what point?
This is in 3 months' time. So once we make this $50,000 order, in 3 months all these things will arrive, which will be our working ingredients, and then we make another order, right? And we're selling that, and that's our profit from that month on. So we're going to become profitable by month 4.
So if I ask you a question.
Yes.
By the way, we have something in common, so it's not only me.
Great.
Yeah. So
I mean, not great, but you know.
I mean, I feel the pain.
Yeah.
I mean, from business
And
point
go
of
to
view,
the next slide, please.
From business point of view, and I would like to share that with everybody here, is there's 2 elements that's very important in every business. One is the concept. One we usually don't pay attention is the person, is the human resource.
Yeah.
And whether today or tomorrow, I know you're going to be very successful because the way you pitch, the way you communicate, even though I like you spend much time this way than there.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So if I would like to go business, not only for the business point of view, I might go just for the personal point of view, because I think you might go a long way to go.
I'm sorry, say that again?
You will go a long way, when it
thanks.
comes to the business.
Thank you.
So you're very smart, you're very articulate, you just, and I like that. Now, the question about the business. One thing is about person, one thing is the reality.
Yeah, yes, business.
50,000. What are you going to spend the 50,000 buying the sugar, tea?
Yes, literally just ingredients.
Okay, so the
Literally
business.
well, this is how it is. If we do a $20,000 investment for 4%,
Right.
we have two options here. I mean,
Mhm.
I didn't know we could have two options. I just saw from the earlier, you could have two. I thought it was just one, I'm thinking Shark Tank, right?
Right.
We could do two options here where I would prefer the 50,000 personally. I think with the 25,000, what you could do is we could add one operational unit. So like I said, the revenue unit is the bag. The operational unit right now is what I have in Hargeisa, which is 5 cooks. One cook and 5 runners. So that is one operational unit. That's all we have right now. And that's what this evaluation, everything is coming out of that one operational unit. So with 25,000, we add another operational unit, and we'll be able to buy in bulk the materials for 3 months of those 2 operational units. Why 3 months? Because we believe 1 month, once we make the order, we'll take the suppliers 1 month to produce that material, 1 month to ship it, and 1 month for us to sell it, to have the next money to be able to make the next order.
And why you choose this concept?
Why the share?
I mean, no, not the shah.
Yeah.
Because there's millions of people selling shah
Yeah.
in Hargeisa, right? But
think-
the only guy who's running on the street
Yes.
selling shah.
I know.
Why?
Why? Because it's an untapped market, I thought, at the very cheapest overhead.
Okay.
Right? I didn't have too much money.
That's
So
good
I thought,
point.
you know what? This is nobody's going in. Oh, okay. Nobody's going in this market, and it's actually not that hard to enter, right? Which goes into my competition, right? Which is, it's not rocket science, this thing, right? The bag and going stuff, right? But where we have the advantage is that, go to the copycats, please, slide. Where we have the advantage is that, we're first mover, obviously, right? We have that advantage. We have expertise of being in the market now for a little while. I've been doing this for 6 months, so I was able to fix the kinks here and there. And, our product, Dhaka Jebiye, what we put in the shah. If you go to Hargeisa and ask about just the shah, that's what they love. After a while, you forget the fact that you get used to the service of getting it to you, But it's the shah that they love. That's what we obsess over, is making sure our product is of the highest quality, right? And, the sign of competition, if it comes, that's fine. We're the first, right? We're the originals. Competition will come. Competition is actually a sign of a healthy market, right? You have competition, that means you have...
Last minute for all sharks.
All right. Bro, first of all, you have guts.
I have what?
Guts.
I have guts.
You left Minnesota, started a street business, and you have a revenue of what, $15,000 a month?
Yes.
I mean, it takes more than being a smart.
I don't call it guts. I call it common sense, really.
It's guts. But anyways, in my opinion, and based on my, by the way, I'm a good friend of your brother, Mohammed Goulet.
You know Mohammed, yeah.
Yeah. And
shout out to Mohammed.
As a distributor, you have an established business. I think, based on my opinion and experience, you can get a distributor unless you want to start importing ingredients, which will cost more than $50,000. But if you will be buying from a distributor, like a large distributor, instead of selling a stake of your business, I think you're better off. You're better off. I mean,
But we can't. We're Muslim people, so.
No. Let me finish. I think you're better off getting a credit account. You buy a product on bulk from a distributor. Let's say by pallets. 1 pallet of sugar, which is about 50, 60 bags of and then you use distributors' money, to run your business. You get a 30 days, 45 days, 60 days term with them. I think that's the best advice anybody can give you.
You think so?
And for that, I think you already have an established business. You don't need to sell, a single % of it, yeah.
All right.
Wait,
yes.
So, as you said, right? It's very ingenious, and it's not just the standardization of the chai and the backpack, but the runners and the way that you get it into the marketplace. So one of my big concerns about taking time is about competition.
Yeah.
Right? It's about very, very quickly seizing control of as much market territory as humanly possible.
Which is why the money would be so much good infusion, right?
So I mean, when I read this, I was very, very intrigued, and I've been kind of consciously staying quiet, listening to people who know about distribution and other things. But I mean, I really believe in you as an entrepreneur. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's almost fate that you broke your foot and came back to Minnesota and happened to hear about this, right?
I love broke your foot for a reason.
Yeah, I landed here on the 4th. The 5th, they're telling me there's a Shark Tank. I'm like, okay, it all makes sense now. Stop being so depressed.
And the other thing I like about your business is when I looked at your financials, I could clearly see where the investment was going, which is not always the case with businesses that ask for money. I can see that, you know, if I invest X dollars, you're going to get this many cooks, this many runners, which will produce this many more cups to sell at this. You know, to me, it's something that's scalable, and it's not just in Hargeisa. I think you could bring this to Nairobi. I think you could bring this.
Quentin, too much compliments. I need money.
All right,
if you believe in it, if you believe in it, I want people to step up with money now. Go big or go home. I got other teams lining up.
All right, so do you remember when the very all-powerful Abdurrashid Dwali said that he had a surprise? So he told me that if I liked what you had to say and the answer to your questions, that Dhaka Jebiye will invest the $50,000 at 8%. So they're going to do that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So if Dhaka Jebiye was interested,
they've got more money.
We would be interested in being a part of that deal, and we'd take it up to $75,000 total. But we would want 15% equity stake to do that.
Say that again?
15% equity stake.
15%?
15% equity stake.
Well, I just got
for the total 75,000.
No, I just got 8 for 50. Why would I do 15 for?
Because your business isn't properly valued. And do you want to operate a business?
You just undervalued my business then.
But your business isn't being properly valued yet because you're operating on a negative margin. And so right now, do you want charity or do you want to learn how to run a business and run it big?
$75,000 for 15% stake.
What does my mama say?
Mama. All-powerful, wise mama. Where is she?
Okay.
$75,000 for 15% stake in a company that was just formed 4 months ago?
8 weeks ago.
8 weeks ago. What do you guys say? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Done.
There you go.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome to the chow business. Chow for everyone. All right. Well done, sir.
Yeah, man.
I'm just very upset that there's no cha here. You gonna need help?
No, I'm good.
Who wants to drink this cha? Who wants to eat the spicy spice sauce that you saw? All right. So far, we're going 2 for 2. We got one winner. We got one conversation pending. And next up, so here we're going from, it's good. It's very nice. We're going from chai, spicy food. Once you eat it and drink the chai, you need to wash your mouth if you want to stay married. Apparently, it's a fact that 25% of all divorces are related to fights over how you squeeze toothpaste. All right? And whether or not you put the cap on or you put the cap off. Who here puts the cap on? Who here is a villain and leaves the cap off? There you go. Next up, we have Simple Oral Care. Bunch of Somali American entrepreneurs who want to be the Keurig of oral care. Yes, that's right, the Keurig of oral care. Give it up to Simple Oral Care. 5 minutes.
Good evening, Sharks. My name is Yusuf, and I'm the founder and CEO of Simple Oral Care. incorporated in Seattle, Washington, and we're seeking for $110,000 in exchange for 20% equity stake in our company. Can I get a clicker or something? The poor oral hygiene is great. It's a huge problem, and there hasn't been any effective technology that helps until now. A year and a half ago, during my visit to my dentist, he discovered that I had a tooth decay, and he later removed it. It was a painful experience, and also a life-changing moment. So I started searching for other products that might help me improve my oral hygiene, but there was nothing out there. And turns out, I wasn't alone. The average American brushes their teeth once daily. And that same American brushed their teeth for only 17 seconds. That's crazy, right? But wait, there's more. In the last year alone, about 23% of Americans have gone 2 or more days without brushing their teeth. That's like the entire population of California, Texas combined, going 2 or more days without brushing their teeth. So now, why this is a problem? Can we go next? Research shows that poor oral hygiene can lead to oral infection, gum disease, and other health problems that are linked to diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and even pregnancy-related problems. So what is the solution? So we have conducted a research and found the 2 major problems and why these people are skipping brushing their teeth daily. The number one is people often forget to brush their teeth daily. The other thing we found is that there hasn't been any significant improvement in the oral care products that we use in our homes. So with that in mind, we've created a device that we think is going to solve this problem. Introducing Aurea, the world's first connected oral care system that's designed to simplify your oral care routine. Aurea is elegant, yet smart device that sits on your bathroom counter. First of its kind, it uses bathroom cleaning technology that's designed to automatically dispense toothpaste hands-free. And it comes with disposable toothpaste cartridges. It also has a smart guiding LCD screen that guides you to brush your teeth evenly for the dentist's recommended time of 2 minutes. And it can hold up to 4 toothbrushes. Simply put, Aurea is the cure for oral care. Can we go next? So how do we make money? Your favorite part. So we sell the device at a low price and make more revenue from the continuous sale of our toothpaste cartridges. We also have another model that we're going to launch, which is 1-for-1. For every product that we sell, we're going to give a clean water, clean drinking water, and other oral care supplies to someone in need. And the first place that we're going to start is my birthplace, Somalia, where as a child, I have experienced the scarcity of drinking water. Now, can we go next? Unlike our competitors, Aurea offers complete solution that is simple and convenient. We recently have been invited to multiple events where we were negotiated to license, but we refused, and we want to be the next, we want to be the next player in the oral care connected devices. So in summary, we've built our first prototype and have done over 3 months of market research. So Sharks, with your investment of $110,000 today, and I know you guys have it, we'll be launching our Kickstarter campaign early next year. Thank you. And now I'll show you our first prototype. Like to see.
It's not functional now.
What's your question?
I said it's not functional right now.
This is the first prototype stage, and we're working on creating the engineering parts right now.
So you don't have any sales yet?
We don't have any sales yet.
No sales today, yet you're valuing your company at over $500,000.
That's right.
Why is that?
We have filed 2 professional patents, and we're confident that those professional patents will be turned into utility patent, and that's going to give us an advantage to control this sector of market.
What's your business model look like? How much toothpaste do you have to sell to generate $183,000 a year of net profit, which would support your valuation?
In our first year, we're projecting that we're going to sell 7,000 units of the Oria and about 4,000 toothpaste cartridges. And that will give us a revenue of $360,000 at the end of the year. And we're going to 2.5x revenue increase in the second year and 4x increase in third year and fourth year.
So in that first year, what do you think your net profit is?
We will be netting about $110,000.
About $110,000, which is about half what you need to support the valuation you've got in front of us.
Yes.
I'm out.
Okay. Thank you for your feedback.
So, I mean, I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around this meeting an actual customer need. I mean, I think it's very clever, right? I love the notion of connecting it to technology and reminding me, and I love the model, the cartridge model, right? That you sell this at a cheap price and you make your money off of some kind of subscription. But I'm just thinking to myself as a typical user and what it would take for me to just simply not use my, my current toothpaste. And the other thing is, my biggest concern also would be why, I kept thinking to myself, why isn't Procter & Gamble doing this? And if it is a good idea and Procter & Gamble gets into this, they will crush you.
Good question.
So I mean, why?
I can answer that.
And just like 1/3, not to throw too many questions out, but where are you getting these projected sales numbers from? Because I'm struggling with the demand. Like, where is this demand coming from?
So like I said in my presentation, we've done 3 months of research. We've talked to real people, real customers, and we asked them, what they want. Can we go a couple slides forward? So when we were doing the research, we found that we went from a small paper kind of like prototype to what we have right now. If we can go like this first, last. And we were asking people like each day, like, what is your favorite part of this product? And we've developed we've reached in a way that now we know, what people want and expect that they're going to pay what we're trying to sell this device about $39, which is not that expensive. People are buying $700 cell phones. Why not buy $39 a device that is going to help you improve your oral health? So we started like you see the small kind of like a package, and now we're there.
So I mean, I know in your business plan, I think you had interviewed maybe like 110 people. Is that right?
Yes.
Again, for me to be convinced that this is something that truly is scalable and that is meeting a market demand, I think rather than seeking funding from me, you would be better off trying to do some crowdfunding, even just to demonstrate that there's a marketplace out there and to raise some initial capital then to take it to the next level. So, I mean, I think, I'm out, but I would recommend maybe exploring that as an alternative.
Yeah, thank you for feedback.
I too, I think, have a concern similar to what Quentin is talking about. I run a dental clinic, and I see the problem that you have and the solution that you're trying to create. I'm not sure that this is the solution. And I would be interested in working with you to provide some of the market information and to co-develop something that would actually be helpful to you and invest in it. And I would be happy to talk to you about that.
Okay, thank you.
So I actually think your idea is really great. I feel like you would be able to market it more if you were to change who you were marketing to, as in parents would really want something like this, especially for kids. So I feel like a lot of people would buy it if they know that their kids, because me as an adult, I can easily know when to brush my teeth and like how long I want, but I would want my kids or like younger children to know that, hey, take longer, you don't want your breath smelling out here, you know? So I feel like if you were to change who you're marketing to, then I feel like you would make more of a profit and also gain more investors.
Yeah, thank you. We actually designed this product for families. So that's our first market that we go into is the families with kids. Yeah.
Just one more advice.
Yes, sure.
I run a home healthcare business, and we serve a lot of disabled people and people who have been injured in mobile. So I think they will be very good person who cannot use both their hands. So instead of squeezing by yourself, then you can just, so hospitals, nurse cares, nurse homes at a good market, disabled population, yes. So I think would like to something explore is if you have made something that functional, so I can take to those patients and see in real practical sense what is gonna do how it's gonna be affecting them. But one thing I just want to say, a personal point of view, because I really care about the people. I've been in business for some time, and one thing I realized, human being is the most important thing in any business. You are a typical textbook businessman. You're going to make it today or tomorrow, so keep going, but I'm out for this for now.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I started my first business when I was 13. So that also gives me a great opportunity to explore and see what is working and what is not working.
Yusuf, I applaud you for being an innovator. You have something I don't have. I'm just a salesman.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And I don't have a lot of expertise in this field, but I wish you luck.
Thank you.
And hopefully, some years to come, I'll see your product in retail store, something. But with that said, I'm just out.
Thank you.
I think I'm the last one to be out.
Yeah.
I have no expertise whatsoever, but I really like your concept, and I will be a consumer.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Wait, but, all right, hold on. Let it be known that one of our judges, Sarah, is an award-winning healthcare executive. And Sarah was the one who said that she's willing to talk to you, give you market research, and work with you in developing your product. So recommend, follow up on that. That's a win. And out of all the products so far, his team has actually created something new. So that's very impressive. So give it up. Still there.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We're up next.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Who here still listens to the radio? Who here still? Some people? Yes. Okay. In Somalia, radio still reigns supreme, and our next team is Radio Daljir. They have privately supported network of 7 FM radio stations operating in Somalia. It's diaspora founded, and they are here to pitch their idea. Give it up for Radio Daljir. How you guys doing so far? You guys doing good? There's more cheese, there's more hummus, there's more coffee, and there's more lemonade. 2 more teams. Radio Daljir.
Well, thank you.
Here you go, sir.
I have a mic right here. Nope.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Sharks. My name is John Abshir. I'm the founder and director of Radio Daljir, the largest network of FM stations in Somalia. A little change has seen from food service to real service and media. Radio Daljir is the largest network. We are operational. We are in business. We have employees. We have 7 locations. We are in Bosaso, in Galkayo, in Gardo, in Garowe, in Buhodle, in Abudwa. We've generated revenues of close to $500,000. We are growing. We are part of the community, often leading to stability, economic growth. We're creating jobs. We have communities that walk in daily. We had a father walk into us and say, you know, for the first time because of Radio Daljir, I pray properly. We have mothers that walk in and say, because of Radio Daljir programs and civic education, my husband has been a better husband and he has been a better father. We do make a huge difference. A huge credit of that goes to our Daljir Women's Desk, a team of women reporters that we created in 2005. Back in 2005, we couldn't talk about gender equality and equity. We were intimidated. We were threatened. Fast forward 10 years later, and last year, Puntland elected the largest number of parliamentarians to the federal government. So we're making a huge difference. Our mission right now is to go national, to be a national radio that's heard from coast to coast. We want to add 2 new stations. We want to expand coverage of existing stations. And that would lead us to more revenues. Our revenues right now are about $500,000, and in less than 24 months, we're going to be doubling to about $1 million. In another 24 months, we're going to be doing $2 million. We're going to be improving our margins from a 10% EBITDA to 35% EBITDA. We're really excited about the prospects of also communities inviting us. Radio Daljir, we need you. When are you going to open these stations? And when we create that, we have a core team that has stayed with us for over 10 years. And to prove we have a track record of creating young men from high school and from college and making them into professionals. We have a track record. We have a Radio Daljir alumni who have been a chief of staff to a former prime minister. The current chairman of the National Association of Somali Journalists is a Daljir alumni. We are daily training and producing fantastic professionals who are an addition to their communities. So the question is, how do we get there? How do we go to a national radio? Well, it's not easy, but we will add those 2 stations. We will double our sales, as I said, and quadruple them. What are we asking now? With a valuation of $500,000, 5 times revenue, we're asking for, we need $500,000. We are internally generating $150,000. We are asking you $350,000. And that comes to 14% of the company with that's a $2 million valuation of 14%. We believe that's a great value, given that within less than 60 months, we're going to be a $2 million. And with a 5 times revenue, that's a $10 million valuation. We're very excited, and thank you very much.
All right. This time, ladies first. How do you feel about that $500,000? Silence.
Daljir Radio, welcome to Minneapolis.
Well, thank you very much.
I think I heard Daljir Radio on FM
Yes,
Minneapolis.
we're on the FM dial.
Yes. So you're asking $350,000.
Correct.
Right? Not shilling.
$350,000.
It's a lot of money. can you tell us a little bit about how were your sales the last 2 years?
We've done exactly 450,000, 435,000 for the last 2 years.
Profit?
Close to $500,000 each
Profit
year.
or revenue?
Profit-wise, we've done EBITDA, or that's earnings before depreciation, on amortization and interest. We've done about 190 and 149 in profits.
In or out? It's still in. It's still in. All right, guys, still in.
And remember, our margins right now are about 10%. We're going to be improving that to 35%. When we become a national, right now, for example, we're about half of the country. Most of our major clients are national. Each client that we bill, when we move to the South, is going to be at least 2 times what they were paying. For example, Daljir is not here, but it's one of our major clients. They're always asking us, when are you going to move to the South? So the demand is right there. It is always a minimum of 2 times whatever we were billing, plus the local. And then there is the biggie bag of when a customer in Bohol or Bosaso says, oh my God, you know, I might open a business in Kismayo or Dolo. So that is an additional benefit. So you're always growing and existing customers and adding new customers. And when I take the 2 numbers, that the 2 times, that is the minimum. I'm counting on what I have, my current customers.
With the expansion, are you saying it's just pure profit, no overheads, or you're going to have the same overhead that you have in other branches?
Well, the overhead is going to be reduced because right now you're having a team of journalists that are all over the place that you are paying, but you're not producing, but you have no locations. So there are going to be new sales in these locations because you're going to be advertising, you're going to be creating programs. But also your overhead, you're adding it and reducing it at the same time.
You're battling technology. You're in a situation where, at least in more mature markets around the world, radio listenership has gone down dramatically. You did say something, though, that was really, really important, and that is that you're creating a lot of unique content through your situations where you're encouraging better behavior out of husbands like me. Those kinds of things. You can't get that on Spotify. You can't get that on iTunes. So I love your passion.
And a substantial war on drugs, too, which is a highly neglected and forgotten area.
I love your passion. It's not a business I know anything particularly about, but I do know enough about the service economy and retail business to encourage you to drive unique content. But with that, I'm out.
Just to coming back, radio is the only business in the media that's growing, not.
Sheikh Quentin, in or out?
I mean, I love your passion, right? And I love your vision. I guess I'm still uncertain of how you're going to get to your current levels of profit, which sounds like maybe after depreciation, if I got this right, off the top of my head, you're talking about only $45,000 of profit, annual profit. So as an investor, I mean, I'm thinking, how do I get my money back? Which you do need to talk about, and I know it was in your, your business plan a little bit. But I'm just trying to figure out how you're going to actually create that level of efficiency to get to that level of profit for somebody to invest with some degree of confidence that in 5 to 8 years that they could get their money back and maybe even make a little something.
Well, what we're shooting for right now is 35% net margins. 35% of $1 million, that's $350,000 of profit. And when we go to the South, We have standing contracts in which certain NGOs say, we need programming, we need advertising, one of you get a move. One of the things that has been holding us back is because of the security. But now with most of the South being liberated, we can finally take our foot and move forward and go in there. So as far as the profit margins, we just completed a headquarters of Radio Daljir in Galkaya, $500,000, all of it internally generated. There is no question that within 2 years or within 5 years, we can buy back those shares using the same valuation and prevailing numbers. So when you valued on this number, which is the 500,000, and we go up to $1 million or $1.5 million of $2 million, then we can use that same multiple and buy back the shares. Or there would be another investor who will come in.
Convinced? Sharks?
I think Jama is a great guy. I'm heavily invested in product business. I like to feel what I'm investing in. With that said, I think I need to be more knowledgeable about your industry. We've started talking. I think we'll talk more. But at this moment, I think I need to be well versed. With that said, I'm out.
Mother and daughter team superstars. Any hope here?
Let's say something.
I think actually, is that on? Yeah, okay. I think that I will try and convince my mom. That's my goal here, because I think it's actually a really great idea, because you said you would be the first national radio of Somalia.
Right now, as it is, we're the largest FM network. And once we add these 2 new stations, yes, we are going to be a national radio, or as close to a national radio as you could be.
And as Somalia expands, I feel like there's so much room for you to eventually, as people get more and more technology, they would be able to start a channel network. There's a lot for you to do, especially with all the new businesses coming. So I will try and convince my mom for you.
Asha, can you convince your mom now?
I'm trying. I've been whispering to her, so we'll see.
What's the stickling point? Why aren't you going in?
Because it's not my field.
Yeah.
I only deal with restaurant and food. So, as Ibrahim said, I like to touch something, So, but then I think it's a good idea what you're doing in the country. I think it's great, I think every Somali should appreciate for you what you're doing.
So, Sarah, everyone appreciates it. They like the content. They say it's important. They say it's necessary. But money talks. Are you going to come in?
Again, I think you're an outstanding businessman, and I'm really convinced in the business model. I think it's great. As someone who has family in Puntland region, I know all my uncles and cousins talk about what they hear in Daljir, and you're very popular, and I think you're doing a great community service with the type of programming that you do. Again, it's not my field, nor do I have the level of investment that you're looking for, so for that reason, I'm out.
Anyone willing to come in? Final 30 seconds. He loves the compliments.
No,
but he loves money more.
I feel like I'm repeating what other people are saying, which is, you've got the passion, you got the vision, you're doing amazing social good, but I think maybe your best bet is to find a very specific niche of investors that focus on media. Because I can see it and I can feel it, but from a business side, I think I'm like everybody else here. I just don't know enough to invest that level of capital. You're not talking about $10,000 to make a difference. You're talking about a significant level, and there are probably people in that space that will understand it and will feel more comfortable making that with you.
And again, this is being streamed, so if anyone is in that space, Radio Daljir is looking for that investment. And can you tell them how they can contact you? Because we're live streaming this.
You can always go to radiodaljir.com, daljir.com, social media, and drop us a note. You'll get an answer right away.
Give it up to Radio Daljir. Hey, As a person who creates content, at least everyone likes your content.
Oh, then
That's a win. And they're getting free content right now. All right, how you guys doing? We're almost done. We're almost done. Have you guys been inspired by the pitches so far? Have you guys been inspired by the entrepreneurs? So far, I think we're 4 for 4 with quality. We're almost done. Home stretch. Should we stretch out? Do we need to give you cha? Do we need to give you cheese? You guys are good? All right. No, the uncle's like, just stop talking and hurry up. Okay, got it. I saw you. All right. Finally, we need, who here works out? Nobody. One person. Awesome. But apparently, there's something called protein powder that I don't know about because I don't work out. And apparently it gets clumpy when you shake it. I have no idea. But the next entrepreneurs have something called a Titan Mixer Bottle. It's a sports accessory company, something totally new, that has introduced the world's first protein mixer bottle. Just wait for it. Protein mixer bottle that does not require shaking or batteries. What? Exactly. Give it up for Titan Mixer Bottle. Come up, Titan Mixer Bottle. They're gonna start working out, guys. Watch out. Mama Weliya, let it be known they're taking your sauces. Action-packed music, the sharks are getting into it. See head nods. Something exciting is about to happen. Quentin as Bruce Willis might do something stunt-worthy right now. And give it up to Titan Mixer Bottle Pitch. Give it up
How's
to
everyone doing? All right, just while we're setting up, everyone can kind of stand up real quick. We can't be a fitness company without telling you guys to get your legs moving. You two sharks, stretch out a little bit. We got the pink one. Is that all the colors?
the first company that's actually making us work.
All right, you guys can sit down. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammed Rage.
I'm Adan Ali. Our company is Titan Mixer Bottle, and we are here today seeking $100,000 in exchange for 10% equity in our company.
Fitness is hard work, and getting the right nutrition into your body is a very crucial step. But after an intense and exhausting workout, you're left with a clumpy protein shake and a foul-smelling, hard-to-clean shaker bottle. Thankfully, we've decided to tackle this challenge head-on. We are proud to introduce the Titan Mixer Bottle. The Titan Mixer Bottle is made up of 3 main components: the main cup, the supplement cup, and the Titan Mixer Blade. Making use of the Titan Mixer Blade, you no longer have to waste your energy shaking your supplements after an exhausting workout. Simply pour your protein right through the patented funnel, give the handle a few easy pumps, and watch as Titan pulverizes protein in no time at all. And let's not forget cleaning. Titan Mixer Bottle might be the simplest bottle to clean. Just pour in a little soap and water. Imagine a soap. Give the handle a few easy pumps again, and watch as the Titan bottle cleans every nook and cranny there is, ensuring an odor-free shaker bottle every time.
So our journey started back when Muhammad and I were studying industrial design at The Ohio State University during our undergrad year. We spent a year developing the product, all while going to school, doing our senior thesis, and trying to build this company from the ground up. After a year developing the product, we were finally satisfied with the product as well as the brand. And in May 2015, we launched on Kickstarter. and we had a successful campaign, and we utilized those funds in order to build manufacturing. So here are some of our numbers and stats to date. Our campaign raised $82,000 across all crowdfunding platforms, and we used those funds in order to begin manufacturing. We received our inventory this year, January 2017, and since receiving inventory, we've made an additional $35,000 in sales. So far, we've shipped 4,000 units across the world to 55 different countries. And this year, we're a vendor at the Arnold Classic Expo in our hometown of Columbus, Ohio. It is the largest fitness expo in the world, and we are currently selling on our website, TitanMixerBottle.com, as well as Amazon. So far, these are some of our accolades to date. We have the most backed protein bottle on Kickstarter at 2,020 backers. Our customers represent 55 different countries around the world. And Core 77, which is a highly accredited industrial design website, voted our product as one of the top fitness products for 2016. So the investment will be utilized in a few different areas, marketing, retail, as well as research and development. Now, the main thing that we'll be utilizing our investment for is marketing, because while we feel like we have a great product, the next step is for us to get the word out there to everyone around the world. We'll be utilizing it in two different ways. The first one being online social media campaigns, utilizing social media fitness athletes. We are also currently in negotiations with 3 athletes in the NBA, NFL, as well as boxing in order to become the face of the Titan Mixer Bottle brand. Next up is retail. As I mentioned before, we are selling right now directly to our consumer via online. We're also currently doing small batch wholesale orders for specialty shops, mom and pop fitness shops around the world. In the next year or so, we plan on upscaling to distribution as well as big box retailers such as Target. Outreach is very important for us, being young Somali entrepreneurs, and we feel like it's our duty to give back to our community any which way we can. And our company has outlined three different goals for our outreach efforts. The first one being a short-term goal is to provide entrepreneurship mentorship and industrial design mentorship to youngsters, Somali students in our backyard in Columbus, Ohio. We actually did a summer camp this past year in order to inspire the youth about industrial design and entrepreneurship, and we feel like giving them the tools early is going to allow them to break free and to do anything they want. Also, our middle goals is to provide health and wellness awareness in Somalia. We want to run sponsored events by Titan, because Titan is more than just more than a bottle company, it is a fitness brand. Lastly, we want to bring manufacturing to Somalia. We own all of our tools and production, and we foresee a future in which we'll be able to employ our own people.
Investors, with your help, we can take Titan to the next level. So who's ready to join us and become a Titan today?
Nice. Give a round of applause.
Thank you.
There we go. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Everybody's awake? Good. All right, so tell me a little bit about how much it costs to build this, and then what you're selling it for.
Sure. So our manufacturing cost is $387. After shipping it to our facility here in the United States, it's a little under $5. We're selling it at $29.99, which sets our profit margins at 83%.
And where is it being manufactured and shipped from?
It's being manufactured currently in Shanghai. Yes.
You did mention that you will be working with distributors like Target and those. So at the moment, you're making 85% profit margin.
Correct.
How much are you willing to lose to distributors?
To distributors?
Yeah, how low will you go in terms of your net profit, or gross profit, I'm sorry?
Yeah, it depends on the quantity of the order. But for wholesale, our wholesale price right now is at $15. It's competitive with some of the other bottle companies that are out there now.
No, what will be your lowest to go as far as margins once you start dealing with distributors?
With distributors?
Now you're at 84.
Yeah.
64, 50, 40,
I was going to say around 60% ballpark.
60%?
Yeah, this would be our lowest.
Okay. How many units have you sold so far? How many units?
So far, we've sold 4,000 units.
And how many did you guys order?
5.
5,000?
Yeah.
So we're getting to the end of our inventory. We actually just re-upped for the new year, and we're getting the new batch manufactured soon.
And how long did it take to sell the 4,000? How long did it take?
4,000 was 40. Our Kickstarter campaign was 45 days. So we had 2,000 orders in those 45 days. And then from there, after we got inventory in January of 2017, we sold the rest of the 2,000 after that.
Is the product patented?
Yes, it's patented and everything from the trademarks and all of that.
So that's a big thing. So you actually have an approved patent.
Yes.
Now it's not pending.
Well, actually, it's actually currently pending. It's not patented yet, but we have all the the process patented down, and so just to correct my colleague here, we're pending.
Well, that's a pretty big difference. And for anybody who watches Shark Tank, they'll Lori will make that comment all the time, like a patent. There are a bunch of pending patents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I would love to hear like John's opinion, for example, on the valuation, because again, you're at $1 million valuation. Now, if you had the patent, maybe, but with the pending patent, I don't know. I mean, look, it's a very cool product. When I first saw it, I was kind of like, really? Because I'm not in it. And my co-founder Shahid immediately was like, oh my gosh, I have this crazy stuff, Soylent. Anybody heard of this stuff? It's like something, and he had exactly that problem with all the clumping, but I think that the tricky point for me is the valuation. I think you guys have got what it takes. I think you've built a business or started building a business. You've been able to outsource manufacturing. You're bringing it back to the States and you're selling it. But $1 million valuation is a pretty high valuation.
What's your status cost?
If I could actually answer his rebuttal to his point, as far as our valuation, anyone who's got a startup knows it's always tricky to, especially early on, to pinpoint that valuation. The things that kind of came into our consideration when we came up with that number was, in addition to our crowdfunding, run, we did a small capital investment at that valuation. In addition, also to our IP, which is pending. As well as our tooling and our contracts with our manufacturers. That's the reason why we kind of came to that number.
So at what point in time did you do the small capital raise in the first place?
It was right after our crowdfunding run.
So this is one of the dangers of startups, right? Mm-hmm. A high valuation when you first start out is, I would argue, typically not a good thing. Mm-hmm. Because what you end up doing is you freeze out people like me later on who just don't buy into the valuation, and you're either going to have a down round or you're going to have a flat round. So recognizing that you already have investors that have bought into this, and I presume how much of your stock is with investors right now? What percentage?
10%.
10% right now. So you're giving up a total of 20%. Yeah, I think I don't know. I'd like to hear other people from over here about the valuation issue, because in a way you may be trapped a bit by your initial investments, and you've either got to take the down route to expand and to get beyond this. But this is what I'm struggling with.
In or out, Quentin?
Sorry. This is what I'm struggling with. John is like the magic computer. He's like a superhuman with his valuation stuff. He's got notes and his calculator.
But does anyone believe in the product itself? I mean, they've created a product, they've sold it. Is that enough to convince any sharks right now? And they've sold 4,000.
I just would like
we'll
to
get
add,
to that point.
Yeah, I just would like. Sorry, go ahead.
Are we waiting for John's magical computer prowess? Okay.
The thing. It's
on the iPhone.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. The product is good. I mean, it's innovative. It's branding, the logo. It's just. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to add was that. As much time. Sorry, go ahead.
The reason why I asked about the pattern was like I was trying to see how you guys came up with the 1M valuation. I was like, is it because of the pattern? Is it? Yeah. So. I mean, what I want to know is like, what's the initial cost? I mean, the initial startup cost, and how long does it take to produce, ship, and to get the product in your warehouse?
So it costs $20,000 for a 5,000 unit run, and we sell our product at $29.99.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that last question?
Like the startup cost, like how much did it cost you to start up this business?
Oh, we did this.
Including the T-shirts you're wearing.
Yeah.
And the hats and
I mean, we actually started our Kickstarter with like $500.
Yeah, with no marketing budget. Yep.
Yeah, it was just something, an idea that we had. We did all the design aspects. We 3D printed it in our class, and we kind of put together the video. And that's kind of what started the company from the ground up. Essentially, everything that we made from that campaign was then to help with production and legal fees and applying for patents and different things like that.
So to also answer your question, all the funds that we raised on Kickstarter were used towards tooling, paying for the patent, and so on and so forth. So majority of the funds that we raised on Kickstarter was strictly for startup costs.
So typically we would look for, on average, an equity return of about 30 to 33% per year. We want our money back in 3 years. So if you followed that rule of thumb, holding your valuation, you're going to have to go from 200 bottles a month in sales to 2,775 bottles a month in sales at wholesale. That's a big leap. That's a big leap. So I've got some questions on that front. But then secondly, through your initial fundraising, how much of the company have you given up?
We've only given up 10% of the company.
Only given up 10%.
And also, as far as evaluation, we are negotiable in that aspect as well if that does change the mind of any of the sharks on the panel. I think for us, it was just more so, in addition to the product as well.
Well, let's walk it backwards.
Sure.
If you're at 200 bottles a month in sales right now, what do you think going the next 12 months, and then 24, and then 36? What do you think your bottle sales are going to look like on a monthly basis?
On a monthly basis?
So I'll answer that question. So to utilize, as my colleague touched up on, some of the athletes that we are currently negotiating with will be a very
That'd be huge. Agreed.
So utilizing their name and their presence will skyrocket our sales to the next level. We've also been targeting social media fitness athletes that have large following, and what we do is we're trying to send them free samples in order for them to do a review and somehow work out some sort of
brand ambassadorship program with them.
Do you have the Titan trademark registered?
Yes.
No.
And also, I would like to add, as much time as we spend building the product, we also spend the same amount of time building the brand. So that way, later on, when we do decide to do the next product or it could be a wearable tech, it'll be under the Titan brand, and so your return will also be under that same category.
Correct. So to kind of add on to what he was saying, Blender Bottles is one of the main competitors. But all of those different competitors, they've kind of pigeonholed themselves in just developing bottles. We envision this as a fitness company. So whatever ideas that we have in the idea bank, and trust me, there are a lot, as investing into our company, you would be getting a piece of that as well. And whatever other products would be under the Titan portfolio.
Because we are industrial designers by trade, and we stay with ideas all day, every day, and so we have an idea bank full of fitness products that we want to launch, but it's just making sure that we do the first one right and making sure that we take this to the next level with your help.
Sorry, you convinced?
You guys, I'm just so impressed with your product,
Thank
your sales pitch. I think you're doing a great job with this, and I'm going to make an offer, and I don't want you to take this as an insult. I think it's in part because of the fact that the patent is pending, and I also agree with my colleagues here that your valuation is way too high for what it is. So my offer is $10,000 for 10% of the equity.
$10,000 for 10% equity, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for the offer.
We'd like to hear any if there's...
Anyone else? You got $10,000 for 10%. Sharks? Sarah says, take it. $10,000.
I'll give you $10,000, but I want 4% of all your sales going forward, no equity.
Ooh.
Say that one more time.
Ooh.
I'll give you $10,000. You keep all the equity, but I want 4% of all of your sales going forward associated with the Titan trademark.
For how long?
Forever.
Forever?
2 offers on the table. $10,000 for 10% or $10,000 for 4% of sales till Qiyamah. The day of judgment.
I think you guys have too sharp. I think you can give out 20%, 14% and go with them. Because I think I will go with that because John has a lot of expertise. He's been CEO at Target with his name.
But Sarah is an award-winning healthcare executive. She ain't no joke.
Vice President at Target. I think with with him you can get a lot of connections and.
I feel there's a racket happening here.
That's what I will advise you.
All right, so what do you guys
Just to
think? You got
clarify,
2 offers.
I was not CEO of Target. And actually, I was the executive vice president of real estate and construction. So I have some connections for you, but I can't offer a whole lot on that front. Don't count on that in making your deal.
I mean, you guys are amazing. I mean, you guys can be my younger brothers or something. And I want this to pick up, I'll be honest with you, from my heart. I think you guys are struggling with revenue. I'll come up with an idea. We'll take the 4% from John. The 10%, we'll bump it up to 25,000, and you give up 25% of the company.
$25,000 for 25% of the company. What do you guys say?
No.
Wow, cold-blooded. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, is mine on?
I don't want to be in that deal. $10,000, you don't give up any ownership. 4%.
Forever.
All right, wait. There's another hand up.
Okay, so my mom would like to add on to that. She's saying 20,000 for 10% or 15%.
Was it 10% or 15%? That's a lot.
No. 10%.
$20,000 for 10% stake in the company.
But you're going to give that up forever. 20%. That's your equity.
I'm just trying to do a quick
recap. Here's a recap. $20,000 for 10%.
Okay.
$10,000 for 10%. $10,000 for only 4% sales until the day of judgment.
That's essential.
Yeah.
But no ownership. You get all ownership. It's your company. He just wants 4% of the sales.
Okay.
3 offers on the table.
Neither.
You can ask the audience for help.
No, I'm going to actually ask my business partner for a second.
All right, let them discuss. All right, audience. You only get one choice. Just raise your hand once. God is watching. Raise your hand for the one of the 3 that you like, and if you don't like any of them, I'll give you a 4th choice too. All right. Who here says out of the 3 ideas, $20,000 for 10% is the best offer for them? Raise your hand. All right, a few. Who says $10,000 for 10% is the best idea? Who says $10,000 for 4% sales until the end of time? Who says all of them are bad? All right. The last 2 are the most popular.
Wait, I have a new offer.
New offer.
Don't applaud me yet. I have John whispering in my ear. Exactly. So I propose that the 3 of us go in. 10,000, 20,000. I'll put in 25,000. But for 20% of the equity that we'll share proportionally.
$55,000 for 20% shared between 3 parties.
Is that
So to repeat
it, is that right?
We would go in jointly because I think that a small amount of money is not necessarily going to get you where you want to go quickly, right? So what I'm proposing is we collectively pool the money 20,000, 25,000, and 10,000. So it's
55,000.
55,000. And this is a good deal. This is better than a deal alone than what you're going to get. And then we get 20% of the equity of the company.
That's, is this on?
$55,000 for 20% equity. What do you guys think?
That's an excellent offer. And before we decide, we would like to make a call with our business partners back in Columbus and just take a moment.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, so you guys have about 15 minutes because we have one more.
We can wrap it up
Final
quick.
one. And so, guys, that's the offer on the table, guys. $55,000 for 20% equity in the company. They have 15 minutes to decide. And how are you guys doing? Because we have... Or $10,000 for 4% sales forever until the end of time. Two really solid proposals. You got 15 minutes to decide. And you guys, we have the final team. You guys doing good? We had spices. We had protein mix. We've had radio. We've had chai. What do you have? Well, I'm forgetting something. What else do we have? One more. Toothbrush machine. And finally, not just entrepreneurs, but change agents, we have Afam Enterprise that will use a community-based platform and advanced technology to provide clean, safe drinking water in Somalia and jobs in the community. The final pitch, give it up. You guys have been patient. Give it up for the last 10 minutes. Final pitch, Afam Enterprises for clean water. Give them a round of applause. Final pitch of the evening. Final pitch of the evening.
Okay, good. All right. Good evening, guys. How are you? So I'm like the last person. So does that mean I get more time? Okay, so a little bit about myself. My name is Noraina Bukar, and I am Afam Enterprise. Believe, think, believe, implement. So just a little bit about me, so we're not complete strangers. Although I grew up in a refugee camp, I had a chance to move to America and live another life. But 2011, 2012, I had my first indirect experience with waterborne diseases, famine, and drought, which kind of left me with a little bit of scar. And I was like, okay, this breaks my heart. How is it that we've reached this, I want to say, era, and we're still battling third world issues? So it kind of, and I was in college, so you gotta know about college students. Broke, but I had a lot of time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some research as far as what I need to figure out. How can we can solve waterborne diseases? But all I found was short-term goals, humanitarian relief. So I was like, okay, continued throughout my college career, and in my profession, I still was really interested about figuring out how to solve waterborne diseases. So I started, if you want to do something, you got to change yourself. So I started networking with other business owners, and then 4 years ago, after I graduated, I just left Michigan and moved to Chicago and started a business. So that gave me a vehicle to meet other business owners who were international, and finally, I met someone. I met a technology company that does water purification system. Now, this technology company is pretty exclusive, and you got to be at a certain level to figure them out. So after a few months of negotiating and trying to, have them implement it, but they're vendors, they're capitalists. They're like, well, if you want to do this, you can do it yourself, but we'll give you exclusivity. So I decided I'm going to take this upon myself and do it. I partnered up with two guys from Somalia. Abdullahi Mohammed, he is our COO. He has his MBA, and he manages our day-to-day operations. And Mohammed Hagi, he's our CTO, and he manages our technology aspect of our business. Now, just moving down to the product that I'm talking about, These are the two systems we really want to start with, the E5 and the E10. The E5, the interesting about it is that it produces 500 gallons of water per day just using the sun. So Somalia has the largest body of water. What does that mean? Free water, free energy, right? So the second one is a game changer, E10. Now this one can produce 10,000 gallons of water a day. Now just using sunlight. Imagine if we cranked it up and added a little bit more energy. And I will let you guys read that, but this is a powerful statement that I really stuck with me. 70% of the whole country of Somalia doesn't have clean water. That's 30%, and I wonder who those 30% is. So our business model is pretty tricky because I'm in America, the technology is in America, and we have to implement Somalia. We have to figure out how we're gonna do this. So we created a unique 4-phase, 5-phase system. So I'm just gonna cover the first two so I don't run out of time, but the first one, because of our lack of data here in America and in Somalia, there's not a lot of data in Somalia. It took me forever to find 4 dug holes or boreholes, and to verify if those are actually even functioning was even worse. So that threw all our numbers off. And so we want to just get on. Two of my partners are already there working. My goal is in December to go there so we can conduct our own research and find out what the water quality is. Do these actual wells are functioning at a high level? And build partnership with local NGOs and businesses. Now, I just want to quickly skip to our ask. We are asking for $198,000 in total, so that includes the purchase and delivery of the systems, but we want to do it in increments so that it's compatible to our business plan. And that would reduce our risks and increase and maximize our profits. And pretty much that's it. But I do want to tell you guys that because we have exclusive rights for Somalia, Afam Enterprises does, our goal is to create a tool that can make it very accessible for people to have clean water. So I was just talking to one of my partners, Mohammed, and he was telling me, even though he lives in the better side of Somalia, the water that comes out of his faucet is still salty. So for me, it's like, where do you get your water? Oh, I get water delivered, and it costs, and regular people, 70% of people can't afford that. So for that reason, I felt that I would say myself, I'm lucky that I got into this technology recently, 4 months, and we've had a lot of progression in just trying to implement it over there. And I'm glad that I got to meet these sharks, and hopefully one of you guys will be able to offer us $198,000 at 20% equity. Thank you. Well,
right now, you haven't produced.
Well, the technology company, which is our partner company, they are just our vendor, but they have a proven track record. They are actually they're functioning in America, doing like manufacturing, because there is high rate in ppm and pollution. And for us, they are doing most of the legwork. What we as Afam Enterprises are trying to do is create the platform where we can bring it into local Somalia and using private businesses like sharks and government.
So who will be your main customer? Directly to the...
All of the Somalis.
I know, but is it with other businessmen that will sell, or who are you initially trying to sell this to?
Just local communities initially, but what we want to do is first try to make the technology familiar, and then sell it to, then grow, because we have the phases, our phase 1 and phase 2, because we are in a third world country, we were taking all of these factors into consideration so that we're not, running before we crawl type of thing. So our initial target is just local everyday people and businesses, but local everyday businesses, not Nestle, for example.
So what currently, what does your infrastructure look like inside Somalia? So I get it. It sounds like you have a great arrangement. Epiphany, is that the company?
Yep.
Yeah, I checked them out. Totally legit.
Yeah.
Great technology. Do you, and you have, so what you said is you have an exclusive for Somalia.
Agreement, yes.
So an exclusive, so you've got a written agreement with them.
Yes.
Okay, contract.
Well, the thing is, we can't do contract because of cost. Like, we have a written agreement where once we get our international business established, then we can legally bind.
So you don't have a legal agreement?
We have a legal agreement as channel partners, so that also extends us my exclusivity to just specifically Somalia. So I can't tell them, well, you can't work in Nigeria because I'm not Nigerian, but that was my thing. If I'm going to work with you guys, this country is mine. China can't come in using, the technology that I'm using.
So my biggest question with this is, what do you have waiting for you on the ground in Somalia that if you got the investment and you were able to hit the ground, you were able to buy whatever unit you want to start with, who on the ground is going to actually run it? What's your maintenance plan? Do you have, I like its low tech kind of plumbing, mechanical, there's a steady supply of that to really maintain the equipment, but do you already have people? Do you have people vetting? Do you have?
Yes. So this is why I wanted to go to Somalia, because the thing is, in order for me to really get a good feel of the environment and the communities, so we do have a specific location right now, and that location also has a well, and it's owned by the same person. And the same person wants to work with us and use our technology to filter his well. And we will be able to implement our technology on his land. So with that, that's a great start for us because we don't have to go look for a place to actually implement this program. But the thing about is that unless we're all there and we conduct our own research as far as the quality of the water and how big is this well and how long, because we don't want to put a plant next to our system next to a well that's going to dry up after 3 months. So that is why we're not totally 100% locked down on that location in that well, but that is something that we have right now. So if we wanted to just do one E5, which is the smallest that produces 5,000, I think we can get something rolling just to get our tests and our measurements correct.
You mentioned you don't have a written contract, right?
No, we have a contract. When I was sought out, we have a contract that's a channel business. It's also written, but it's not international. So it's contingent to me getting my international subsidiary business in Somalia fully functioning.
So what you're saying is like you have something, it's called a gentleman's agreement, whereby they're saying, okay, we are committed to you for a certain period of time. So is there some sort of precondition for them to lock the market for you for that period of time? Do you know what period of time? Is it 12 months, 24 months, 36 months?
Well, as of right now, we didn't discuss because I want to bring the technology into Somalia. That is the incentive. They have one other person selling their system into a whole country. So for me, if you want me to take it into this whole country, you can't create competition for me. And for them, as long as I can get the government to purchase it, businesses to purchase it, manufacture it, distribute it however I want it, they're like, you can have Somalia. So as far as that, no one can take the product and take it there and distribute or sell.
No condition attached to that agreement.
Right.
What are you going to spend with the 108,000?
Well, our goal is it's divvied up into 5 years. So the first phase is more so about research. So whatever we need for research and getting our research is going to position our company so that we are purchasing the right equipment and placing it in the right place so that we don't run out of, like with the whales, there's issues, we don't know how deep it is, we can run out of water. So if we just did the ocean, then that's another cost. Now our byproduct is salt. So we had to take that salt somewhere else. And it really, the different phases kind of, it breaks down the price into different phases. And normally as of right now, until we actually know what type of water we're dealing with, we don't know how we can break that phase up, how much the 198,000 is going to be broken up. But we know for sure a chunk of that is just going to go to the equipment. The equipment by itself is like $50,000.
I remember looking your business plan and the startup capital. One thing that started out for me was you put $30,000 for traveling. And I'm just curious about what I mean,
that is separate for if we wanted to get engineers. So the company also provides their own engineers to come in and install and train. So they can come in, 2 engineers would have to come at a time. They can train 60 people. So that means we don't have to have the engineers again because we got 60 people who know how to utilize and maintain the system. So next time we purchase another system, we can have those people training the new people and we can just cut out those costs.
So it is traveling, training.
Yes. And then we're also paying them per hour for 40 days for how many days they're there.
Okay.
I don't understand which business that you're in. So are you saying you essentially have a relationship with Epiphany to be an equipment sales dealer of these systems, or is your goal to own the systems and sell the water?
Own the systems and sell the water.
Own the systems and sell the water. And so how much water, based on the market price that you think you can get for it, how much water are you going to have to sell to provide a return back on the $198,000?
So first year, including expenses, and first year would be a loss, but second year, it would take us, I would say, at least 2 years after the first year, because second year we don't have to purchase the equipment, it's just maintenance. And if we're producing 2,000 gallons a day at 50 cents, that means we would be able to recuperate, the $158,000 within 2 years, and then we'll still have money to function and pay our employees.
I've got a little bit of experience in dealing with shallow wells in Somalia, coastal country, Horn of Africa. Most of your population is in proximity to the coast.
Right.
And the issue is that the water table is quite high because it's a very flat land. And so you end up with a lot of shallow wells that are contaminated with salt.
Yep.
So does the Epiphany system, what does it do? How does it take that salt out of the water? How does that happen?
So the system, the E10X, it filters the water and distills it, and what is it called, sets out the byproduct of the salt. So that's why it would be problematic for us to start right away with that, and it's in phase 3, because we need to know what are we going to do with this byproduct now. We need to figure out if we're going to sell it or use it or whatever the case might be.
Does the cost involve drilling a borehole, or you'll be using existing boreholes?
And existing boreholes. So this is a water treatment system, so we would have to have some type of water source to start to treat.
Sharks, anyone in?
I mean, it's a good idea, but
there's a but coming.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, and I'm out.
Anyone want to come in with a little bit?
Well, I think one of my concerns in looking at the business plan is you haven't yet fully developed the operational cost projections for in-country once you get there. So from the investment side, it's a huge risk, right? I mean, I think, it's great that you've got this exclusive relationship. I think that it's a wonderful vision, but when I went through the financial statements, there was no labor cost. There was literally no operational costs inside Somalia that was being projected out. So, for me, that it's a little bit of a warning sign. So one thing that I would suggest, and this offer is sort of coming from Abdurrashid Douale, is he's willing to connect you with his people in Mogadishu on the finance side at the Habshil Bank, if it's helpful, to sort of try to help you flesh out that in-country component of the expenses. And I think once you do that, and especially if you do it with support from Dahabshil Bank, you might be in a good, a better position, I think, to make an ask of that level.
Quentin, does the Godfather believe in the idea?
I think everybody believes in the idea. I mean, it's hard not to.
So they believe the idea is great. You need to see more of how it's going to play out through the operational costs on the ground.
Okay.
If Dahabshil will connect you at the mortgage front, I'll provide you engineering services for free.
Perfect.
If Dahabshil provides that connection, we got engineering services. And also, Facebook Live, your streaming audience right now, if there's people out there, how can they contact you if they have ideas how to help?
Oh. Which way is it?
The world, everywhere. The eye of Facebook is everywhere.
Oh, I was like, well, you guys can contact me at Somali Rose.
At Somali Rose.
So it's like Somali spelled correctly, Rose spelled correctly.
At Somali Rose, all spelled correctly. There's some hope here. Give it up for our last pitch.
Thank you, guys.
Afam Enterprises. All right, guys. Some interesting news. There was a silent shark in the audience for Titan mixer bottle. And the silent shark said that they will give $10,000 for 10% stake, and they'll take care of all the shipping costs. So, you have 3 proposals. 20,000, what was it? Yours is $10,000, no equity, 4% own sales till the end of time. $10,000 for 10%, and the silent shark in the audience right now takes care of all shipping. And Quentin's Voltron Justice League idea of $55,000, but split 25% share. Titan, I gave you 15 minutes. Sharks are here. 3 offers. You got to choose.
Thank you.
What's the choice?
Thanks everybody for being patient with us. Thank you, Sharks, for your time. After consideration with our business partners and consulting with them, we actually would like to provide you guys with a counteroffer. The $100,000 that we presented in our pitch is what we need in order for us to scale up and in order for us to get you guys your money back at a reasonable return. However, we do understand your concerns about the valuation, and we are going to bring the equity stake up. We're going to be bringing the equity stake up to 16.7%, which puts our valuation at $600,000. Based on our projections, we project that we'd be able to get your money back within 2 years at that rate. And obviously we had a lot of sharks that were interested previously before. And we'd love to get everyone's input and collaboration as far as the investment. But yeah, we'd like to provide you guys with a counteroffer instead. $100,000 cash for 16.7%.
$100,000 for 16.7% stake in the company.
Which is a sixth of our business.
The math is happening. What does Sheikh iPhone tell us? Counteroffer, I like this. $100,000 for 16.7%. Money back within 2 years, you said?
Yes, based on offer our projections, yes.
Within inshallah.
Inshallah.
Valuation too high for Sarah, she's out.
Thank you.
We have 2 people working the numbers now, so they're taking this seriously. First offer still stands, which was $20,000 for 10%.
I'll put $60K for 20%.
$60,000 for 20%. What do you guys think? Woo! I got a whistle. Sarah says that's the best deal so far. That's not bad, man. $60,000 ain't no joke. Sheikh Quentin, what do you say? What has the iPhone revealed? $60,000 for 20% the counter, to the counter.
Before we respond to that, we just want to give the gentleman enough time.
Of course. Just
take as much time as you need with your math.
teeth are being gritted, numbers are being churned. Bruce Willis is doing his math. 3 offers on the table, $20,000 for 10%, $60,000 for 20%. And they're asking $100,000 for 16.7. The audience demands a sale.
Take his 60. I'll go to 20 for 4% revenue.
For forever?
Forever.
$80,000
so just to
for
clarify,
20% equity and 4% sales till the end of time.
Can they phone a friend?
You want to phone a friend?
Do what?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right. So in the final 5, I'm going to introduce.
Let's hope this is the last one.
No, it's okay. Well, because we have 5 minutes for you. To take us out, first and foremost, give yourselves a round of applause for sticking around for 2.5 hours. Were you guys impressed? Be honest. Who had really low expectations? Raise your hand if you had really low expectations. You were just trying to help a friend. Came out, you're like, I'll do a good deed today. Who came here just to sleep and was shocked? So most people came with low expectations. Were you guys impressed? All winning ideas. Thank you to the Sharks who gave excellent feedback. We already have a chaiwala who has money, who broke his leg and was here today. We got people making offers left and right for connections. And to give the appropriate thanks and the elegant sign-off in the final 5 minutes while Titan is making a desperate last call because we have an $80,000 offer here for 20% equity and 4% ownership and sales until the Qiyamah, the Day of Judgment, the end of time, Armageddon. To take us away, we have Hodan, the Oprah of Somalia. Come on up and give us your wisdom. Is she still here or did she peace out completely? Hold on, are you here? Are you out? She was sleeping. No, she just donated. She was doing good work. Give it up to Hold On, Integration TV. Follow her on Twitter. She's much more classy than me, much more elegant. She's going to thank the people, say something inspiring, make us feel better about ourselves, make you guys feel better for eating all that cheese. And we all, hey, by the way, Titan, are you guys selling the bottles? They're in the back making the phone call. Hold on, come on stage. Do your magic.
Hello, everyone. This has been an amazing night. I can't believe, I've been inspired. Have you guys been inspired? I'm so happy that you guys have been paying attention and really, it's really inspiring to see people live their dreams. So first of all, we'd like to thank all our sponsors, including USAID, Comcast Business, Dahab Shield, of course, the wonderful people at Finis Labs, and ARC, one of the great organizations in Somalia that I've actually worked with and seen their work, and also Integration TV. Hello. In closing out, I just want to remind you a quick story. I always travel back home, and one of the things I've learned back home is that, there's so many people giving our community things, but it's hard to find people who want to empower our community. I was one time driving through Hamarena district in Mogadishu, and of course my driver, he was a very nice guy, very protective, because they want to make sure you're safe in the city, that you don't talk to locals, supposedly. And I'm the kind of girl who's daring. So I got out of the car, and I started buying some ma'ouz for my kids, and a hat, so I could say, I got this from Somalia for you. And I happened to give the guy who was selling the product to me more money than it was worth, because I wanted to support him and empower him. But my driver was like, why are you giving that guy more money than what the product is worth? And I said, because tomorrow he'll be able to employ more people. He'll be able to not only just sell a product, but he'll be able to give someone else a job. But he said, why don't you give it to someone who's going to beg on the street? And my philosophy in life is, let's empower people who are actually in the hustle. Because that's the people that are going to make a change in society. We can't keep feeding people. Our community is no longer hungry for food. They're hungry for inspiration. They're hungry for empowerment. They're hungry for jobs. If you believe this hype that Somalis are starving, I travel to over 15 cities in our country. Yes, we do have hunger, but the biggest hunger we have is the desire to improve our lives and to be hungry for success so that a father can feed his 8 children and work, but he needs a job. He needs companies to employ him. He can't afford to beg anymore. So on that note, we're going to be an empowered entrepreneurial society from diaspora to back home. Thank you so much.
And give it up again to Hodan, who's a superstar. And wait 1 second. And also, Titan, there is a counter offer for you.
There's a new offer.
There's a new offer. And also, Mama Weliya. Is Mama Weliya still here? Come on stage. There's an offer for you as well. Mama Weliya, if you guys remember, the spicy sauce, which they did not pay me to say this, it's really damn good. Like, we just destroyed it with the sambusa. So, Mama Weliya and Titan. Titan, you guys are up first. Sharks, what is your new offer for Titan?
Okay, Titan, this is what we like. We on?
Yeah.
Here we go. Titan, here's the deal. We've got $105,000 in cash for you. Okay. $105,000 in cash for you. Could go a long way. You're going to get $25,000. What? Okay. Well, we'll tell our parts. Okay. For me, you get $20,000, 4% revenue, no equity.
You knew that was coming.
He's not budgeting. So.
60K, 20% of the company.
Ooh, 60K for how much?
20% equity.
And then 25,000 as a convertible note at 8%, which means I'm giving you basically a loan at 8%. And then when you go to another round of investment, which you'll need to do, I want a 20% discount to buy into that round.
Okay. Man, all right. You guys, okay.
We're serious, guys.
Yeah, no, for sure.
This is a lot of money.
Yeah.
$105,000.
4% sales.
And by the way, you're not giving up equity between the two of us.
What was your response to their first offer, guys?
So originally when we had stepped away, we're actually we're going to counter between you two gentlemen and do 80 for 15%, 80K for 15%. And we're going to try to convince you to drop the 4% for forever. And have you guys both come in together at 80 for 15. How so?
Because I'm essentially giving you $20,000, no credit terms, no interest rates, no nothing. 4%. You keep all the equity, you keep all the upside. All that's yours for a little tiny sliver of sales.
But it's the word forever. It doesn't end.
Okay, for 50 years.
Qiyamah, by the way, might happen in 50 years. All right,
Yeah,
so
that's a lifetime.
it still could be until Qiyamah.
So just to clarify, would your...
So are these all separate offers?
Yeah.
So 60 for 20. 20 for 4.
25,000 convertible note, meaning it's a loan at 8%, but then I can convert the rest of the note or the rest of the loan to go for another round of investment, which you will, with a 20% discount. It's very standard.
Yeah.
Or a Voltron combination of $105,000 with those same terms. You need the final phone call?
Final phone call.
All right, as we do the final phone call and if people prepare to leave.
Is there going to be any updates when we come back?
You guys got 3 minutes for this one, though.
Stick with final one.
We're sticking
This
with
is
that.
the final phone call. Guys, we have a new offer, though, for the first team that came 2 hours ago. Give it up for Mama Weliya. Amazing spicy spices. I loved eating it. Avocado, fenugreek original, and coconut. See? I remembered because I ate it. All right, Sharks. Give us good news.
Well, it's always a mystery how Shark Tank works. And sometimes you get offers that you just completely don't expect. And I will just say that this is going to be an unexpected offer. And personally, I think you'd be crazy not to take it. But that's just me. So I'm going to give it to my man over here to explain what he's got in mind.
Thanks for coming back. I thought you guys left, but I'm glad that you guys are still here. I was very quiet the whole night because food is my thing. There was two things tonight. My brother for the tea, and you guys for the hulba. I don't know how many of you knows hulba. What's hulba? Anybody knows about hulba? Osman, you know hulba, right? Hulba is for, it's not for all people, but it's more people from East Africa and the Middle East. Hulba is it's something that it's also healthy. It's a healthy product. It's going to be new in the States. So my offer will be, I asked earlier who made the recipe, but they said their mom. Then I back up. Then I thought about it. These three guys have a lot of energy, and I want to offer them tonight a franchise, Afro Daily franchise, which was not in this deal, but I like, their energy. They came at the restaurant today when they, I think, came from the airport straight to Afro Daily, and they really like it. So I'm going to offer them a franchise, which is $70,000. I have 1 year away, but I like them. And tonight I will offer Afro Daily franchise in Virginia. I don't have a lot of details, but we're going to talk more about it. And hopefully they will accept my offer, and we go from there.
So what's the terms? $70,000?
Yeah, it's $70,000, but they don't have to pay. I offer them a restaurant in Virginia. Details, we're going to talk more about it. But of course,
What do you guys say?
there is a royalty.
What do you guys think about that? Yes? What does the audience think? Thumbs up?
You can
What does
sell
the
your
audience think?
product there at the restaurant. You have your restaurant.
Oh, there you go. Boom. Well done. Oh, so did you guys call mom? Was she praying the whole time? Was she reading Quran? That was what was happening the whole time. They're like, Mom, please.
Great stuff. Food's fantastic.
Ayatul Kursi. Surah Yasin.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
2 out of 5 are funded. And finally, there you go. You're going to get $70,000. It's going to be franchised in the restaurant in Virginia. That means that's where I live. I can come and eat it.
Definitely.
Well done. Well done. Well done. All right, guys. Finally, Titan, send us out on a happy note. Your time is up. You got 3 offers on the table. You got 4 offers on the table. A Voltron offer of $105,000 for total, how much equity is it going to be? 20% equity, 8% note, $4,000 sales. That's also breaking up into 3 individuals. Team Titan. What do you guys think about this $105,000 for 20% equity, 8% note, $4,000, 4% sales until 50 years? What do you guys think? Half. All right. Here we go.
All right. Thanks for being patient, everyone. So we'd like to thank you guys for your time, your offer, and feedback. Whether we make an investment today or not, all the feedback we get, we'll definitely be utilizing in the future, and we hope that we'll be able to propel our business regardless. I'm going to need you to tell me your name. I'm sorry. Quentin. We would like to humbly decline your offer. We think that's not something that we're looking for at this time. John, I believe, we'd like to decline your offer as well. Oh my God. Ibrahim, your deal was the one that we feel like makes sense, but we would like to counter at 50 for 10. Okay, thank you. Well, then we won't be making a deal tonight, but once again, thanks everyone for your time. Thank you for everyone watching at home. And we appreciate you guys.
Guys, give it up to the judges. Thank you. Give it up to Amelia, who's doing the cards. Give it up to Ark, Dahab Shield, Godfather, Comcast, USAID, University of Minnesota. You want to come in? No? And all of you guys, and thank you to all the teams, and thank you for supporting Minbar Somalia. Take care. Yeah, wait. Surprise. Hold on.
For the judges, every single one gets a bottle today, and hopefully that will allow them to maybe ponder on the offer we made and
How about
they'll reach out to us.
Audience.
Audience, you can go to our website and order one at titanmixerbottle.com.
Take care, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.